It's good to start with a smile. Thanks, Kim. Hello! Welcome to High Rollers Dungeons & Dragons. This is the regular D&D show here on the Yogscast Twitch, also on our High Rollers channel as well. Welcome, friends. Good to see you. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. Joining me this week, we have, on this side, Chris Trott.
Hello.
Kim Richards.
Hello.
They're all here. And on the other side, we have Tom Hazel, and welcoming back lovely Katie Morrison.
Hello.
She's back. How's Scotland?
Again.
I want to go back.
Yeah, you want to
Okay.
live at home.
I missed
You have to
it.
come and play D&D,
There's a nice
unfortunately.
beach there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, glad to have you back. Thanks for joining us. No Rhiannon today. She's away. She's at Hendu.
Dear, we forgot.
I did
no
forget,
idea.
and we were like, where's
Where
Rhiannon?
is she?
She's never usually late.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's not actually here.
She's having it large.
She's having it large. In honor of Katie coming back, all of today's NPCs will be
Oh,
Scottish.
for fun.
Oh, hi.
Okay, they're all gonna be from Glasgow. No.
Oh, good.
So first things first, a big thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring today's High Rollers. It's a particularly important one today. As always, we're normally sponsored by D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond is your official digital tool set for Dungeons and Dragons. We're using it for all of our characters. Everyone's got their iPads. I've been using the Compendium. I also manage the campaigns via the campaign management service there. Bunch of cool stuff coming. They've just done a bunch more announcements. Really exciting stuff coming in the future. A bunch of new books on there, such as Dragon Heist, and also coming very soon, Dungeons of the Mad Mage, which you can check out. But the one to really talk about today is Brilliant, because it's our last day of sponsorship from Brilliant. They've been an amazing sponsor. Thank you so much, Brilliant, for sponsoring us so far.
Brilliant.
You've literally been brilliant. Thank you to everybody who checked it out. If you've not checked out Brilliant so far, please do. It's math and science done right. If you want to improve your mental arithmetic, if you want to improve your problem solving, your logical thinking, Brilliant is the way to do it. Not only does they have hundreds of courses, all on different subjects and different ways of improving your mental skills, but they make it fun. It's being used all across the world by thousands of people. Worth one checking out. And we have a puzzle in a D&D theme from our Kim Richards. Take it away, Kim, while I
It's
have
a
a sip of
really
drink.
weird one today.
Oh, even better.
I find it hard.
It's
so.
probably a hard one, because I thought, let's go out with a bang. So this is to do, the official name is Net Practice Problems, so if you're looking for it. You're drawn to the castle's main chamber by the sounds of distress. No! Screams the princess. She's standing over a rainbow-coloured puddle of goop. My precious pet, Jello Sparkles, has melted. It's going to be weird.
Okay.
Staring at the puddle, you realise that Jello Sparkles used to be a multicoloured gelatinous cube, and although it's collapsed, all 6 faces are still intact.
Let it happen, Mark.
Sure.
It sounds magical.
You
Magic
tentatively
did it.
mention that you could put the cube back together, but only if you had a picture of Jello, so you got all the sides in the right place. TJ, you might want to show the first image now while I read the rest of this puzzle out.
Cute.
There you go. The princess shrieks, yes! And hurriedly summons her servants to bring forward 3 paintings of her with the cube that you can see on the screen now.
Different angles.
Here,
I stuck my arm.
Jello Sparkles was an unusual gelatinous cube in that all 6 of her faces were a different colour. Purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. I do know that her yellow and orange faces went together like this, shows picture. Which means that her blue side would be, where would that be? So if we go to the next diagram, if her red and orange faces are placed as shown in the net below, which face is blue? Is it 1, 4, 5, or 6?
There's your question.
And that's if you fold it back into a cube, which side would be blue?
There you go. And we'll reveal the answer to that at the end of today's episode, if I remember.
You forgot the D&D Beyond code.
I did forget the D&D Beyond code. One thing to keep in mind, please let us know if there are any problems with this, because I did see a few people, but we're not sure if this is people trying to use the code again, or if they're getting it wrong, or whatever, so let us know and we will contact D&D Beyond. But you can use the code HIGHROLLING on D&D Beyond, which gets you 25% off on a digital purchase. So you can buy all of the new books, such as Dragon Heist, and get 25% off. That's code HIGHROLLIng. If it does work, if it does say it's expired, please let us know and we will get in contact with D&D Beyond to let them know. But I've seen mixed reports of it working and it not working, so we're not sure.
Yeah.
So
It
let us know.
might be because you've used it once before.
Yes, yeah, obviously it's a one-use code, I believe. Couple of other things to mention. The biggest one being MCM Comic Con.
What?
Whoa!
We're going to be there. We have a live show on Friday at 5 p.m. on the center stage in the con itself. So this isn't a
sounds
separate event.
important.
It sounds very important. We're going to be on the center stage. You will need a normal con ticket, but there's no extra ticket. So you just need entry to the con. 5 p.m. on Friday, center stage. We're going to be there doing a live show. There will also be signings on Friday and Saturday, times and locations to be determined. Make sure you follow at HighRollersDND on Twitter for all the latest announcements, and I'm sure that the guys in my absence will cover that if that comes up.
Yes.
Probably going to
yes,
be
we will.
announced this week.
It should be this week. We're basically
so-
we're waiting on MCM for the confirmation. The difference with the signings this time around, if you've been to one of our Comic Cons or you've met us at a convention before, we normally don't charge for signings. This time around, we do have to have a policy of you have to buy a £15 poster. We're going to try and make it a really cool poster.
It is a really,
It is a really cool poster.
It is a cool poster.
I'm so excited about
We
this.
hope that you think it's cool. It's a cool poster, but you have to buy that and then we'll sign that, we'll take photos, we'll sign other stuff. But it's just a requirement that we have to have a thing that you have to get to do the signing, basically. So that's cool. So that's hopefully you're okay and you'll get something back with that. That's all to be determined. Don't forget, check out all the times and dates on at HighRollersDND on Twitter. That should come out this week. But we're going to be there. It's going to be really exciting. We know a lot of people are going to be there for Critical Role, so we're hoping to see a lot of critters and high rollers hanging out and having fun. I'm going to try and come along to the meetup if it's not in conflict with something that we're doing. And
Someone's
everything else.
asking if the dice will be available.
We don't know. I don't know what merch is going to be available. That's the other
I'll
thing.
take mine. You can buy them off me.
You can you.
Unlikely that they're going to be available there,
Yes.
but they
We
are.
don't
on
know
the
how much
store
merch
now.
we can sell, yeah.
In regards to other merch that we are working on, so we've had a slight delay in some tote bags.
Yes.
But they are on their way. We've had to change suppliers, so
So they're on the way.
keep an eye out. There may also be a pre-order of another thing
Yeah.
coming this week, potentially.
Keeping it secret.
So
Tom's confused. You know what it is.
you know
Tom.
what it is.
It's literally the thing with 100 emails.
the thing we were talking about right before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a good one.
It's taken a lot of
It's
emails.
really not a forgettable thing.
It's really a lot of emails.
Either way, in terms of merch, just keep an eye on Twitter as well, because
Yes.
there's likely to be a pre-order.
But speaking of merch, you can get on store.yogscast.com right now these dice. There's not many left. We've sold out quite a lot of these. There's only 500 initial batch. I think there's something like 150 left. They're going really, really fast. So if you want them, grab them while you can. Don't forget that when you purchase anything on store.yogscast.com, if you use the code HIGHROLLERS, which is in checkout, when you go to make a payment, there's a box on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Discount code. Put in High Rollers there.
It
You get
works for
10% off.
everything. Not
You get
just
10%
our
off
merch.
everything.
Yeah, you can get
So-
Kim merch as well.
You can get like Kim merch, you can get the 10th anniversary hoodie, whatever you get, and it does support us if you buy other stuff and use that code. So do that. But hey, why not grab an Aerois
merch.
shirt or a High Rollers mug
Or a Kim
or a
mug.
High
Or a
Rollers
High Rollers
hoodie?
hoodie.
Or a Kim mug.
Or a,
Shut up!
Don't buy that shit.
It is true.
Right. So you can check that out, don't forget. Podcast goes out every Monday and Thursday.
It's still going up.
It's still going. People love it. We're glad that people like it. That's all there is.
That's it.
Fan art. Don't forget to send that in. Fanart at gmail.com. What is it?
what?
Just
High
high
rollers.
rollers at
HighRollersDND at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Thank you!
At
Don't send it to justfanart@gmail.com.
Don't do it.
I don't know where that's going to go. Rogue's Gambit.
Rogue's Gambit is on
Fucking hell.
Mondays. That's going to be on, so there'll be one episode next week, and then we're taking a 2-week break. But check that out. There's going to be Rogue's Gambit tomorrow. Kate's back for that as well. It's going to be a good one. I'm going away for 2 weeks. I'm going to be in Japan. So while I'm gone, Kim is going to be doing a little one-shot while I'm away. So that's going to be going on.
What character you play later?
Yes. I've got one, yeah. It's all
Paul
good.
Shank, probably.
No, it's a new one. New
Oh,
boy.
okay.
A new
Yeah,
boy.
these two are going
A new boy with a new voice. You'll be happy to
Oh,
hear.
okay.
You're bringing
I'm bringing back an oldie.
Yeah.
So there's
Oldie but
that.
goldie.
That's going to be happening while I'm away. So check that out.
Is this session happening?
This session is happening. I know
Yeah.
there was a lot of announcements.
Shall we?
Let's get on with it. Sorry, I know there was a lot to talk about and people kept interrupting me.
Yeah, Kim.
Let's play the video. TJ, take it away. And we're back!
Fuck.
TJ's not going to give me a warning. He's like,
Damn it.
Get on it. Get on that. Get Twitch chat
I don't
open.
think we
Caught out.
ever have.
No. Let's get cracking then with a recap of last week's episode.
Oh.
After discovering that two of their companions that had survived the crash with them and the young girl had been killed and that the young girl Valor had been kidnapped, the party took off in pursuit, catching up to their quarry. Sentry sent Echo ahead and was distraught when her little familiar was destroyed by the Goliath who had killed Yusuf and Corin. The party engaged in a battle, which proved to be their toughest one yet. The Goliath, able to jump between shadows, caused untold devastation, nearly killing Quillek and ruining one of his eyes, breaking Lucius's leg and mentally
part.
crippling Nova.
I know that
The party survived, however, and continued their chase with the assistance of a dryad. They caught up on the kidnappers, rescued Valor, and took one of them captive, whilst the other two were melted by the poison of a plant creature. Ha! But before we jump in with the group that had left Rose Hall, we're going to jump back in time a little bit and deal with Aila, who left the party temporarily, basically leaving a note for Nova that you had wanted to try and find some answers about the Wild Elf clan. You didn't feel that you were going to find that necessarily following the guys with what they were doing in this chasm, and well, no, you went to the chasm. I'm trying to think afterwards. It was the dinner with Brookstone and
Yeah,
things
it was
like
just
that.
before we went to
Yeah,
break.
the
So-
place that hates wild elves.
Yes, you decided
Why would
perhaps
you want to go for dinner?
not the most sensible thing to do, and decided to head off on your own for a little bit. After asking around Rose Hall and a few places around there, the town obviously doesn't have a very high opinion of wild elves. So you didn't really get a lot of answers from the general populace. They generally referred to the Bitterwood and said that there was a clan of wild elves living out there, but they kind of gave you this stink eye. They're generally seen as dangerous, not to be trusted, constantly raiding Rose Hall and outlying farms. But Merrick, the field warden, who's kind of in charge of the harvest guard here, did tell you that there is an old wild elf, like really old, probably in his kind of twilight years, who lives out in a place called Broken Spear Wood, which is about a day's travel to the east. And he said if sometimes they go to this old elf when they need help with like strange monsters, or they need to know something about druidic magic or something that they don't know, and that was generally the only person they could point you to that might have any knowledge about any wild elf stuff. So after heading off, you travel for about a day, and you come across this wood. It's not large. It's kind of a small local wood. They're kind of like a kind of typical English wood, really. Trees, a few brambles and things like that scattered around, but it's kind of nestled in amongst the hill lands. And stepping inside, it doesn't take you long before you realize that, yeah, there's obviously somebody's been hunting and tracking and living here. You find like little remnants of campfires here and there. And just as you're beginning to make your way through the woods, you spot a kind of hulking bear. This large, grizzly brown bear, but it looks like parts of its body are covered in long thorns, and it kind of like turns to you lazily, kind of half of like a grouse or something in its mouth, kind of growls as it looks at you. And then from the bushes nearby, you just hear this old voice. Hey, what are you doing here then, eh?
Hello?
Hey?
Is this your pet? Is this
And that's Thorn, eh?
nice name?
Yeah, he's a thistleback bear.
Of course he is. Of course he is, Mark.
A thistleback bear. What are you doing around here anyway?
Looking for probably you, I think, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of see him kind of poke his head out, and he's got a spear, like a long spear, kind of very tatted looking wood, but the tip looks pretty damn sharp and well cared for. Wearing rough leathers, green kind of fabrics. You can see that there is remnants of a tartan, kind of a half tartan across his chest, and then it's been covered up by pelts and furs, leathers. But he's old. You can see his tan skin is heavily wrinkled. His ears are kind of drooped a little bit. Tattoos cover his arms, but they've obviously all faded with age. He's probably really far into his twilight years, and elves in Aerois only live to around about 150, 160. He's probably bordering like 130, 140. Like, he's old. Like, you've rarely seen wild elves live to this kind of age. But he's still got these quite bright eyes, and you can see that his grip on the spear, there's no lack of strength there. He's still as kind of firm and vigorous as he once was. And he just kind of eyes you. He's just like, well, what are you doing around here? You look lost.
I've never lost, firstly.
Yeah, sure.
I've just come from Rose Hall. Charming place, really. But they pointed me in your direction.
Yeah, those milk drinking small ears are often coming around here asking me about shit. Asking me about some monster they don't know how to kill or some plant they don't know if it's poisonous or not. I'm surprised that they can survive, to be honest.
Honestly, it's only a matter of time, from what I've seen. Really dumb people.
He eyes you up, he's like, I suppose it's unusual to come across one of a clansman around here. What brings you out so far is somewhere as shitty as Rose Hall.
Well, it wasn't by choice. There was an airship incident, and don't want to ever get on one of those again, but...
You'll never catch me on one of those fucking things.
Yeah, never again.
Right.
Nightmare.
Just wild elves.
What's your name?
Ayla.
Kind of like nods. He comes out and he kind of props the spear down. He probably actually puts it in the ground. He spins it around, slams it in the ground. He looks over, he's like, Thorn, keep an eye out. Just wander around, make sure nothing's trying to sneak up on us. And the bear's like, Rrr! Starts stomping around. Comes up, offers a hand. Cormac Dunbairn.
Cormac. Cool.
That's a good name.
Nice to meet you.
Aye.
Someone who is aware of all of that. You know?
Yeah.
The group that I've been traveling with they've never met wild elves before, so.
To be honest, I don't blame them. We're as much of a fucking bunch of shite as the humans can be sometimes.
Yeah, but it's
I don't
nice.
really like people.
No, neither do I, but it's nice to be around people who feel the same way, you know? They seem to like...
Yeah, I get it. They like being social or some shit. I'm fine with Thorn here in the woods. Anyway, why are you out here looking for me then?
I don't suppose you know where this tartan comes from?
So you show him, looks at it a bit. That's a funny thing. What are you carrying around a piece of history like that?
Piece of history.
I don't know much about it, but I remember a few things, a few old stories as much about old clans. That's old. I know that much.
Well, yeah, it
Older
seems
than
to
me.
be. Nobody seems to know where it comes from. Nobody can help me find whoever this clan is.
Where did you get it from?
The people who raised me. Turns out they're not actually my clan. They found me.
I found you with that.
Yeah.
He thinks for a minute. Maybe I know a few things. Tell you what, you go and find me and Thorn something to eat. Maybe I'll tell you what I know.
Sounds like a fair deal.
All right? There's plenty of boar and elk in these woods.
Any preference?
That's fine. Either will do.
Okay. Well, I'll be back.
Okay. You kind of go off into the woods. How are you going to
Hammer
try and
swinging.
Are you trying to stealth? Are you going to try and sneak up and are you going to try and hunt one properly, or are you just going to wander around until you find something and then smash it with a hammer?
I think I've got a bow, actually.
Okay. A longbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I do.
Yeah. You can try and hunt down a boar or an elk.
I've got a javelin, actually, apparently.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. You can try and hunt one
And a
down.
longbow. I've got a javelin and a longbow. I'll
So
probably use one of
give me
those.
2 skill checks then.
Okay.
So give me a stealth and a survival check. Let's see how well you can kind of hunt a creature.
7 on stealth. 15 on survival.
You're just walking around pointing at things, shouting, "You!"
You got a 7 on stealth,
Yeah.
did you say? That's pretty funny. So you find some tracks for boar. It's not hard to find them. The boars are pretty wild, and they'll just move through the undergrowth without much care. You find a few tracks. You manage to track one down, and you find a solitary. Looks to be probably a young adult, maybe a young male, kind of just snuffling around. Despite the fact that you are not very quiet, the boar seems to be digging. It's probably found some truffle or something like that, and it's kind of
Good, he did work.
it doesn't seem to notice you. But yeah, you can see it just off in the distance. It's probably about 30 feet.
Throw a javelin at.
Sure, yeah. Make an attack roll with a javelin.
What is a javelin's attack roll?
It'll be dex plus your proficiency.
14.
14 still hits. You kind of hoik the javelin like a well-thrown spear, sails through the air. The boar kind of snorts up and then thump, it hits into the side. I think a javelin does d6 and then use your strength mod.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yep.
So 5 damage.
So fine. So the javelin sticks in, but boars are pretty known for having this thick hide. It sticks in, but it doesn't. It kind of like sticks in and falls out, and you can see this gaping wound. The boar turns around in the direction that this thing's come from, sees you start stamping its foot, and then it's going to try and charge. Roll initiative.
6. Keep rolling like 3s.
You have a dex bonus, I'm assuming, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
Oh my god.
This boar is pretty damn
Wow.
slow.
Okay.
But it's going to charge you. You can see it literally about to just.
Can I charge back at it? And
Sure, if you want to charge it first.
Hammer?
Yeah, absolutely. So you just pull Howling Gale out
Yeah.
and then just charge forward. Yeah, absolutely. Give me an insight roll.
Okay.
So you kind of meet
Right.
it halfway before it can get its momentum up enough to slam its tusks into you.
14.
Hits.
14. 9.
Okay, so you kind of meet it halfway and you bring the hammer to the side, hitting it as its legs kind of come off the ground. The blow hits it so hard, it throws it into a nearby tree. You hear its spine snap, and then the body just slams to the ground like the creature's dead, clearly done, as it just and then slides down. It's a pretty hefty looking thing. You managed to like carry it back. You're super strong anyway, right? Like you got 16 strength?
18.
18, so you just over the shoulders, boom, boom, boom. It doesn't take you long to find Cormac, slam this boar down in front of him, and he kind of looks at it appraisingly. Oh, not bad. At least I know you're worth something, and you're not you're not like those milk drinking small ears around here. All right, take a seat.
Milk drinking.
I love that. I love that so much.
Just like looks, he's like, all right, I've got a fire going. Come on, you can eat with me and Thorn. And he
Perfect.
starts cooking up a meal. Over the dinner, which takes place over the evening, he's like, well, I'll tell you what I know, lass, but it's not much. I don't know the name of that clan that had that colour. I don't think you'll find anybody alive that does. Which means either you're looking for an elf who's been dead for 500 years, or a historian who collected information on wild elves. What I do know is I heard stories when I was a boy. There was once a group called the Fol La Delan. Lairlann. Lair Delan.
Okay.
They were the mightiest of the clans back when the elves first came down from the Sky Cities, when we rejected the cities and came to live down here as wild elves. The Lair Delan was supposed to be the strongest of all of us, and they were fighting against what remained of that Starbane fella's armies. They were still stomping around trying to kill people, trying to find ways to bring back their Dark Master. Well, these clans, the Lair Delan, they were obviously pushing back, they were winning. And then one night, one of those clans just vanishes. Single night, the whole clan just disappears. Like they've been plucked off the earth, plucked off Aerois. The other 3 tried their best to continue to fight, but without the powers of this other clan, they were said to control some sort of storm power, or lightning, thunder, that sort of thing. Without them, they were slowly losing. They had to give up the fight, got pushed back. And eventually the remnant continued and burrowed its way into different places in the world.
So you said one clan has storm powers.
This missing clan, the ones that vanished.
Multiple people had storm powers.
Whole clan, supposedly. It's said that they were blessed by the goddess Zephyr. You see, most wild elves, like myself, we dedicate ourselves to Atelicus, the Earth Warden. We dedicate ourselves to his teachings, to hunting, to protecting the land, looking after animals. But some elves, they were drawn to Zephyr's nature. She's ferocious like the storm, but she loves adventure. She's curious and cunning, feisty. Some of the wild elves were drawn to that, and it's said that this clan in particular were favored by her. And so she gave them parts of her power. Like she gave them the storm.
And you don't know the name of them at all. Any whispers of what the name could have been?
We only ever knew them, the original 4 clans, the Lair Delan, that's the only name we knew. but that was for the Alliance, I suppose you'd call it. Like I said, I mean, nobody living would remember them. This is all stories I had when I was a boy, and even then, it's just, the name got forgotten. People just didn't seem to write things down back then. They were too busy trying to survive. If you want somewhere to look for answers, there's an old elven ruin up by the lake. It's from before the Sundering, so if there's any kind of information there, maybe. I've heard tells that there's something sinister about the place. Thorn won't go near it. But if there's any spirits, they'd be elven spirits. Maybe they'd know something.
Dangerous, weird old ruin. Cool. Sounds like a grand old time.
Well, if you want to find more about this clan, you're probably going to have to embrace a few of Zephyr's teachings. And I don't know much about her. I'm a favoured of Atelicus myself. But I do know that she favours the bold.
Well, I don't know much about her either. I don't know much about any of this.
Well,
just looking for answers.
Plenty of time to learn. Like I said.
Well,
this is all old history.
None of that I knew, so you've already been more helpful than anyone else I've come across.
I'm an old elf, lass. I've been around for a long time. Picked up a few things here and there, that's all. Me and Thorn just try and keep ourselves to ourselves these days, but one of our kind comes looking for help. I'm not going to turn you away, especially if you prove yourself to be useful and not useless. Aye, I'm afraid there's not much I can tell you. Well, the only thing I know is about the lay of the land and, yeah, that they vanished. They were favoured by Zephyr. Maybe that ruin. Maybe. I mean, I hate those fucking sky cities, but they love collecting history. Maybe somebody wanted to find out more about the old wild elves. I mean, we were once the same people as those sky
I refuse to believe
ponces.
That. No.
Well.
No, you don't. Never mind. Long story.
Sure.
Anyway.
But they might know
that's
something.
why I got on that airship in the first place. Because they have information that I don't know where to find anywhere else. But
the only other place that you can look is any big cities like Goldthrone. I hear the people in the village talking about it. A big capital like that, that's going to have... I'll tell you what, humans, they may be useless half the time, but they're a fucking curious lot, and they like learning about shit.
Oh, I know that too. There's also non-humans that I've been... Yeah, never mind. There's a lot...
You already have too much of the other world that I don't really like, so
No,
don't
it's a
tell
lot.
me about it. I don't want to.
No, put it this way. I'd rather go to the weird, creepy ruin than
Me
get in
too.
another airship and go up to those ponces.
I don't fucking blame you.
It's just the way it is, so fantastic.
Alright, well, listen, it's dangerous out on the roads at night. Camp here with me and Thorn. Head back to your stupid village in the morning, but if you're going near that ruin, I'd recommend you find some people to go with. I don't go near that place. It gives me the creeps, and there's definitely something in there. You're going to need some friends. Or at least people that you can trust to watch your back.
Acquaintances.
Sure.
I can do that. I could probably do that.
Alright. Alright.
Sure.
Well, he points to a bit of dirt. You can sleep there. I'm sleeping here. And then he just gets like his blankets and starts moving over. Lets the fire slowly die.
Got my own blanket.
Yeah, you just pour your own shit out. Two grumpy elves in the woods. Just go to sleep. Don't say any more words to each other. And then in the morning you can head
Such a
back.
peaceful night. There's no cows.
Yeah. And then it's probably in the morning, because it would take you another day of travel to get back to Rose Hall. That is probably when you would find out about Yusuf and Corin and Valor. So what you would find out is that the rest of your group had gone for a dinner with Brett Brookstone, who had invited them. At the same, when they were away, this Goliath came, abducted Valor, and killed Yusuf and Corin in the process. They bled out before anybody could get to them. And then your friend, and then they say your friends, obviously, they mean the other members of the party, went after them, chasing after them. People aren't 100% sure of where they've gone, they just know that they dashed out of the town to head towards them. And then that's it, and then that's what you would know.
Okay.
Jumping back to the other group, now the last thing you had said in the last session was that you were going to head back to Rose Hall now that you had Fila and because of Lucius's broken leg and things like that, you're going to head back to Rose Hall.
Broken face.
Is that
Broken
still
face.
and you without your eye?
Well, we want to take Fila back for justice.
Yeah. Okay. So the elk was told to go to Ironwick, so it won't go with you. You can tell it to part. You can part ways with it, and it will just wander back to the Dryad. But you will have to make the journey back on foot. Arvel is with you. Arvel has secured Fila. He's basically got her hands tied behind her back, and he is walking behind her with his crossbow. Like, you move a fucking muscle, girl. I'm gonna put this right in the back of you. And she's just offering no resistance. The only thing that she probably says is every now and then, if like ever she feels like threatened, or if you ever try and like, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to talk to her, or are you just gonna silently head back to the
I
town?
mean, it's a long walk.
It's
isn't
3
it?
days. It's going to take you 3 days of travel.
Definitely.
Now, you've got good berries, which will
good
last you
berries.
1 day, but then after that they go away.
I'm not sure.
So you'll also need to get some rations and things. if
You've
you
got
don't
all the
have-
good berries.
I took it, yeah, but again, they go off after
You have
a day.
enough for 1 day. So you have 2 days worth of food and water you need to
I
provide.
got 1 day rations.
So you need 1 day of food and water.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
I
I've got
do have
one
1 day of
ration.
rations.
Okay, so yeah, you've got 1 day of food and water you need to supply. But yeah, do you want to talk to this girl on the way back? Do you want to talk to each other on the way back?
I mean, I feel like we would be asking her some things, like who she's working for, or who that Goliath
Okay,
was.
so you're traveling along right now. I'm assuming you don't go through the woods. Like now that you've kind of got it, you come off the woods, you go onto the main North Road, and you're just following the North Road back towards Rose Hall.
Yeah.
It's easier to thingy. Okay, so we'll do it in the first few hours. Valor is still unconscious. Sentry is just carrying her. She's got to like carry like a big child, like a fireman's kind of carry. But Sentry just carries Valor and remains quite quiet. Like Sentry, because Rhiannon's not here, I'm not going to try and play her.
It's out the bag, right?
Huh? Yeah. You got her out the bag, but like Sentry's like kind of cradling her because Sentry doesn't get tired in the same way as well. She can kind of just kind of carry her in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's strong.
Yeah, and she's strong as well. And then you're making your way back. This is on the first day, so you've still got like plenty of time. You do have a slow pace because of Lucius, because of his busted leg.
Yeah.
So on the road, Arvel's got this girl in front of him. What'd you say?
I'm gonna go up to her quietly and just. I think Nova's a little bit subdued at this point. Just so much to take in. Hey,
She like looks over at you, doesn't say anything.
why did you do it?
She kind of looks at you quizzically.
Why did you take Valor?
Because my father told me to.
Why does he want her?
I'm not telling you that. What do I think? What do you think I am, a fool?
No.
I'm not saying anything.
Just think you're a girl like me and you did something wrong.
It's just like, doesn't say anything. She's like, well, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it?
Oh no, you're quite both girls. I think that's most true.
Wow, what a comedian.
No, it's just an observation.
Yeah, all right.
Your accomplice killed 2 of our friends.
Wasn't my accomplice.
Then what was he to you?
Some random mercenary.
He killed her guardians, like her mother and father.
She like looks. You see a flicker of like a kind of a sort of pained response, but then she's just like, I didn't know him.
How
not
would
my
you
problem.
feel if your mother and father were killed?
She just looks at you. Well, that's a pretty stupid question. Obviously, I'd be upset.
Then how do you think she's gonna feel when she wakes up?
She's not me.
No, but she has the power to hurt you as much as you have hurt her.
Well, we'll see about that. If you're trying to get answers out of me, Ganassi, good luck.
I just thought you might like to talk to someone who wants to listen before we get back.
I'm not worried. You see, when we get back, my father's going to teach you all a lesson.
I don't think so.
Well, we'll just have to see what the gods have in store.
You've already lost your brother. What else are you gonna lose?
She looks at you. She's like, what else am I going to lose? I'm not going to lose fucking anything.
You could lose your family.
No, you're going to lose everything. When my father finds out what happened to Finn, when he finds out that you've ruined his plans, you're all fucking dead. You're all fucking dead. He's not going to let you get away with this. That mercenary wasn't part of our group, all right? If he killed anybody, it wasn't part of the deal. We were just meant to get the kid. That kid's worth a fortune. You don't even know what you've got.
Who's paying?
She looks back, kind of realizes that she's probably said more than she should. Well, keep that girl around, you'll find out, won't you? Because if you think that Goliath, you think that fucking killer was the worst thing you're going to have to face carrying her around, you're in for a real surprise.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, we'll see how much pity you feel for me when you've got a fucking boot to your throat.
Just gonna stop talking and walk away.
Yeah, she just kind of like glares.
Like there's nothing in she's just
Yeah.
trying to be genuinely trying to be friendly.
No, absolutely, and there you can, if you want to give me an insight check, like to get a read on the way that she was responding and stuff. I mean, Quill, you've got like a passive insight of like 15 or something, right? Is that investigation?
Yeah. If she's standing on the right side of me, that is.
2 whole insights.
I mean, for you, like she just seems this impenetrable, angry wall.
I'm passive 13.
Yeah, I'd say that Quill, you probably get a better read on her, just generally from the way she's reacting. She's obviously scared, and she's using her anger as a kind of defense mechanism. But there is a lot of faith in her father. Like, it's almost like she just expects this to all be fine when she gets back.
Okay, all right.
Do you guys want to say anything more, or are you just going to leave it to
I think Nova's done a stellar job for the day.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can take a camp, you rest the next day, continue on traveling. Just give me, who is going to keep watch at night?
I can.
Okay.
Having dark vision
So you're going to keep watch.
for as long as I can.
I mean,
4 hours.
I can't even keep watch during the day at this
Arvel
point.
can take the second watch.
Yeah.
Arvel will take the second watch.
Am I percepting?
Yes, perception check, please.
I guess what about Sentry?
Sentry can, yeah, but just she still needs rest though as well. She still needs to like take some downtime.
12.
Okay. So during the night, you kind of camp off to the side of the road. You don't have tents. Most of you don't have bedrolls or anything like that, so it's pretty uncomfortable. You're literally like just sleeping on the side of a road, like on the green hills. It rains. You get cold and wet.
What's Arvel doing to like secure?
So he does, before you go to sleep, he basically puts her face down, makes sure that her hands are tied, and then ties her legs.
Oh wow, okay.
And then in the morning he unties her legs, picks her up, and then pushes her forward.
Yeah.
He kind of gives her water, but he doesn't really give her any food. He just kind of is like, offers a bit of water, and then that's it. During the night, she does clearly at first try and struggle, but she can't undo the bonds. Like her hands and legs are both bound. She can't really go anywhere. She just kind of lets herself fall asleep. There are no other dangers. Nothing else pops up in the evening. It's quite quiet.
Okay.
I am very loud throughout the night, whimpering about my leg and how wet it is and how cold
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
cold and wet and miserable.
I just keep trying to comfort him, because I feel bad
Yeah.
for the fight. So
My
I'll just
leg,
I'll be the one listening and being, it's all right.
it hurts so much.
I know, Lucius, you're being really brave.
Thank you. Daddy's going to be so proud of me.
I think
What
so.
I've accomplished.
And scars are cool.
So, the bone came through, so it's kind of like a really horrible circle, but yes, I guess it is quite badass, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, it'll
Not
be
just
alright.
quite as badass as Quill's, though. He's got the whole eye scar
Are
thing.
you asleep, Quill, or are you... Okay, so you're actually
I'm going to sleep as
probably
much
exhausted.
as much as a bird with one eye in probably quite a lot of pain.
Probably a lot
would
of pain,
be-
but like you can definitely you can take things like you can use a bit of healing magic to like lessen it a little bit, and then
that's
just
true,
try and
yeah.
pass out. And also, I would imagine that all of you are pretty tired because like you went hard after these people, so there's a physical exhaustion that even though it's wet and cold and everything else, you can probably just still pass out and then wake up.
Yeah, I think now the adrenaline's run out. It's like
It's just all kind of
super-
sucks out of you. So the second day continues. Anybody want to say anything or different? You don't notice many people on the road. It's quite a quiet road. But as you begin the second day, you are now currently basically walking alongside the Rosewater Lake, which is this huge lake that expands quite like a good couple of miles. You can see on the very edge of it, you can see this old elven ruin, which you've had pointed out before, that you're probably going to pass tonight. So tonight you'll be closer to it, and then you'll be about a day's travel from Rose Hall. But the road is pretty empty. You don't see a lot of travelers. You don't see a lot of people making their way up and down these roads. So it goes uneventful. Unless there's anything anybody wants to say or do.
I'll probably speak to Nova and Lucius, but like loud enough that whatever, and say we were given a job a while back to protect this road. Do you remember? There was bandits apparently.
Oh, retrieving the supplies or something.
Yeah, so there may be on the way back. We do need some more food and things. There's probably some rations and things in some wagons. Then again, should we be worried that there's bandits?
Wait.
I don't think we're in any state to fight bandits right now.
The woman just laughs.
Yes, do you have something to add?
No.
No? Because, if the bandits did come here, you're completely defenseless.
I think
You're pretty fucking clueless. That's
she
all I'm
she
gonna
might
say.
be part of the whole troop, or at least the Brookstones have an involvement.
Oh, no, I know. I was just...
Oh, you were doing a thing.
I was doing a
Sorry.
thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's fine.
That solves that.
When Valor wakes up,
Yeah, so she probably will wake up today.
Okay.
So she's been drugged, but she's also very tired.
when Valor wakes up, I don't think we should tell her about Corin and Yusuf until we get away from, and I point at Fila.
I mean,
Yeah, there's a good chance that Valor might
Yeah.
utilize her powers and destroy this girl. That would be awful.
Rolls her eyes.
I mean, she's quite valuable, clearly. Valor, that is, to the Brookstones, so quite a power to fear.
I just think we should wait until we get back to Rose Hall and Fila's away in custody.
It's a good chance Valor might already know.
True.
well, I've been wondering. I mean, we get back to Rose Hall, Brett Brookstone's going to be there, and we're awaiting our judgment, I suppose, as she keeps putting it. Would they really attack us if we've got Valor with us? Would they just send people to just kill us?
What evidence do we have
Of what?
that the Brookstones did this?
Can I say this so that she doesn't hear?
Yeah, you can pull the guys away. Like,
Yeah.
you can basically say, Arvel, can you take her over there?
Yeah.
And Arvel's like, all right,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, there's a good chance.
We have the letter
Yeah, there's
on Rend, on the Goliath.
it was signed BB,
Oh, yes, yeah.
and well,
I was
both.
just saying that they've got power of money in the town. They could spin it so that we stole and did this to plant it on the Brookstones.
Well, it's impossible for us to have done that. We weren't there. Everyone knows that we were at Brett Brookstone's
House.
when it happened. They could probably make it look like we tried to do it, but why would we kidnap someone we were traveling with?
Good thinking, Birdie.
Um,
Yes, I just want to make sure that we're okay. We're going to need the town to rally behind us if we stand any chance against the Brookstones.
Well, we know he has a lot of workers that already terrorize the town. The town's terrified of him.
But
Probably.
if the town rallied together, which it seems like they're capable of doing, because everyone seems to like this charity.
Well, at
They
least the
like taking
Harvest
from the
Guards
charity,
could.
actually. Yes, the Harvest Guard too. Maybe if they stood behind us, we could actually bring down this tyranny and bring to light the crimes that the Brookstones have committed. We could finally have evidence for once.
Well, assuming we survive whatever he has in store for us when we get back.
What jurisdiction does he have to kill us?
Does he need any?
If we bring the Harvest Guard with us,
I mean, it sounds like once he gets Valor, he's done. He's out. He'll leave Rose Hall forever because he'll have the most valuable thing he'll ever need. Apparently,
you think so?
I imagine so.
His family's here.
True, but what's stopping him from just moving away, taking everything he has with him? If he has an extremely valuable thing like Valor apparently is,
I don't think it's valuable enough to upheave your entire workforce and family to a new place.
it's valuable enough to send his 2 children on a mission that involves murdering 2 people in the town.
I don't want to say it, but he's got other children. They could be the lesser favorite ones. You know what I
You've
mean?
moved away, the girl isn't.
They seem indispensable.
Are you trying to be loud enough that she can hear you?
I mean, they let one of them die. Doesn't matter.
She looks over, glances over, half hearing it.
Like if
Whereas-
if the Brookstone really cared about his children, why did he send them through that forest?
True.
I think he wanted to get rid of them.
And I mean this with the most deepest respect, Lucius, but we already know that fathers don't hold as much merit as we think they do.
Don't say it, Birdie. You hit a
I'm
soft
saying that
spot.
loud enough so that she can hear as well.
I mean, she's listening, but there is just this kind of like eye roll, disinterest, or at least a kind of like these. You get the impression that she doesn't really care what you're saying. Like, she doesn't seem to hold your opinions of any value.
The worst part of all of this is she doesn't even know what her father has done to manipulate her entire life to become an indispensable piece of work that could do anything for
You
her.
should really just stop trying. I'm hearing half of what you're saying, and it's just not.
Well, we told you to move her away.
Like, he looks at you like, you're being really loud.
Am I carrying my voice? Apologies.
Alright, just, let's get a move on, come on.
All right.
Yes, my leg hurts.
Okay. That evening, Valor does begin to wake up. At first, she kind of blinks. She's kind of hazy. Sentry's currently like got her like head on her lap and is just kind of like kneeled down with her. And she kind of sees, and she's like, "Sentry, where am I?" And then she like looks around and she sees one, and she's like, "Hey." She like looks around, like rubs her eyes a little bit. She's like, "What happened?"
I'm standing in a particular way, so she's going to see one side of my face.
Okay. Yeah. She like looks around. She's like, "Did you all come and get me? I can't remember much." And you can see her like rubbing her head. You can see like her hands. She has like defensive wounds where she obviously probably just tried to like scratch and claw at this Goliath. And she's just kind of like, that man came after us at the stable. And then there's a realization on her eyes, and she's like, "Yusuf, Corin, what happened? I saw Corin, he got hit and he fell on the ground. And Yusuf, she tried to conjure magic, but it didn't hit. And then I blacked out. He hit me or something." And she's looking at Sentry, but she's also like glancing at the three of you that she can see, and Arvel. She doesn't seem to recognize the woman. She just kind of doesn't seem to really realize who she is or something. It's just like, "What happened?"
How do we handle this?
I see that she doesn't recognize Fila. Hey,
Hoover, what happened?
I need you to be really calm, okay?
Why? And then you can see she's starting to like well up in tears, and there is a realization there. She's like, no, what happened? You have to tell me.
I'm gonna kind of take her in my arms and just hold her and just be like, I'm really sorry.
She just starts shaking her head. She's just like, no. Yusuf can heal. She has healing magic, right? She healed him.
I'm really sorry. There wasn't enough time.
She just starts. You can see her eyes go red. Her head like hangs down. You just hear like a few kind of like gulped sobs, like she's trying to hold it back. And then she just looks up, and there is a change in demeanor where her eyes, these violet kind of purple eyes, there is a flicker of a power glow, and you can see her body like this kind of glow, purple energy kind of just pulse through it. Where's that Goliath? Where is he?
He's dead.
Good. And you can see the glow begins to diminish and calm down. Did you kill him?
We did.
Good. And you can see she just gets, calms down, and then the tears come again, and she just starts crying, and Sentry kind of just pulls her in and holds her close and just kind of pats her gently. And then, she just seems to like kind of cry out for a bit, and then just falls asleep again, just passes out.
Cool. I guess she sees Lucius's leg, but like...
she didn't seem to recognize it. Like, she just was like so caught up in this realization, and then Nova obviously telling her that the two people that were super close to her and cared for her are dead.
Yeah.
Even if she didn't say it, she realized. And and then you guys are sleeping again. It's not raining, but it is still cold because it is winter. Who is taking watch? Sentry offers to take one.
I'll take the other one again.
Okay, perception checks.
Natural cocked.
That's cocked. That's super cocked. It's on the other dice.
Great. 7.
Okay. Again, the evening passes. You look over at the prisoner. She struggles again, but doesn't seem to get free.
Probably be distracted looking at Valor a lot.
Yeah, you can see that
Why
she's,
my perception
she's asleep, injured, tired, but she just passes out. Obviously still exhausted. The drug's probably still in her system, kind of just finding its way out.
Lucius has a moment of clarity, realizing that his poor leggy weggy is the least of everybody's issues, and that Valor's going through a lot, and that Quill's lost
Keeps
half
it quiet.
his sight. He's like, maybe I should just suck
Deal
it
with
up
it.
a bit.
Suck it up a little bit.
Not Lucius.
You've grown. The morning of the next day, you guys continue, and this time on the last kind of day of travel, and then you'll basically be within Rose Hall distance, brings you basically along the White Breeze. You kind of follow the lake around its edges, and you can see out on the lake there are occasional like boats that you can see out, like little boats kind of like sailing across the lake. You can see fishermen and things like that. And as you kind of like round the corner, it's a very beautiful lake. It's a very beautiful image. This kind of beautiful lake. It almost has like a red tint to it, kind of giving it this rosewater name. And then you see the White Breeze, this river that you would initially follow to Rose Hall, and this huge elven palace. Kind of looks a bit like an English country manor, kind of buttresses, very grand architecture, a wall kind of around the outside, overgrown with ivy and flowers. You can see big, thick rose bushes amongst all the gardens. The gardens look pristine. They look like they've been cared for and managed, and despite it being winter, the garden is still completely in bloom. But everything else looks kind of dilapidated. The building itself looks dirty and grimy, except the windows, which are all clean and clear, and seem to look, but they're curtained, like the curtains are drawn on all of them. But the actual windows themselves are clean. And you notice this as you walk past, but you just continue following up the river.
This could well be another one of those tree ladies.
We must remember to come back here.
You can mark it on your little map, point of interest.
Do we get some experience?
If you go and explore it, yes, you will. Yeah. If you actually explore it, yes, you do. That's
Walk
a genuine
close
answer.
enough to get them
Yeah.
to walk on the
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
direction.
No.
Quest accepted.
That's what I do in Fallout.
Discovered.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, yes, you can have the discovered.
Yeah.
You don't get the full XP until you go.
I think that's already on the map anyway.
Yeah, it
I
is
think I already
It's
know
on my
about it.
UI now.
That night you camp out alongside the river with a clear view of this palace. The evening comes and goes. Valor is quiet. She doesn't talk much. She'll answer any questions you have, but generally she just kind of keeps herself to herself. Sentry kind of motherly looks after her and is like, she kind of forces her to have some of her rations. She makes sure she's drinking. They kind of converse very quietly. Occasionally you see Valor kind of breaking into tears and Sentry kind of just puts an arm around her and things like that. But otherwise she'll stay fairly quiet unless you guys want to approach her and talk to her, in which case obviously you can.
I think Lucius would feel like if too many people come up to her, she's gonna
get
take it the
too
wrong
much.
way. So I think Sentry's doing a good job.
So you're going to just leave it with Sentry. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Nova would know what to say.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably talk to Lucius.
Arvel is basically focused entirely on this
Yeah.
prisoner. Like he's desperately trying to make sure that she's not going to fucking get away.
Get out.
Yeah. How much was it to fix Arvel's leg? Do you remember?
400 gold.
400. Do we have that sort of money?
I might be able to help. I was talking to the Daybringer and I asked him if he would teach me the spell.
Oh, okay.
I never had a chance to go back and speak to him, but if I do, maybe.
As a point, it will still cost you 400 gold, even if you know the spell, because it's for the components to power the spell. It's the
Just saves
material
us from
component
having to
cost.
go back to Rose Hall
Yes.
every time, I imagine.
Yeah.
That would be the main benefit.
That's
That's that's a clarification, so you don't think, oh, we can get it for free.
Yeah. And I know that it wouldn't fix his eye.
You don't think.
I don't
so.
know. Okay.
You don't think so. That's a very severe wound. Broken leg is one thing. His whole eye is basically ruined. So
Okay. Do we have 400?
I have the money to cover it.
That's good. I've noticed you've been complaining a lot less, Lucius.
Yes, it's getting much better.
Better?
No. Not at all.
Okay.
But what's the point of complaining, right? Just got to keep walking.
you see, like, as you're distracted having the conversation, you see the woman like tug on something, and then Arvel is just like on the back of him. He's like, "Where do you think you're going?" It's just like, and then he tightens her bonds a bit. You can see that she had been. He's like, "Oh, you crafty son of a bitch." She's been loosening her bonds and was trying to make a break for it. But
Oh, now we have to make them tighter.
yep. And then Arvel's just
That's
like,
bad for you.
What's the plan, Feeler?
She just looks at you.
And to run.
Why are you trying to escape? We're taking you back to your father.
I wasn't going to try and escape. I was trying to get free so I could start putting knives in all of you.
You don't have any knives.
You do.
I specifically don't.
Some of you will have something that I could hurt you with.
Feeler, if I was held captive and I was going back home to Daddy, I'd milk the shit out of that. I'd have all these people around me, and they'd be like, oh, yes, they beat me up every day. And, oh, Daddy, it's awful.
Well, that's the difference, isn't it? I'm not a pathetic little weasel.
Well, you're the one in restraints, darling.
Yeah, well, you wait until these restraints come off, and then we'll see who's the darling.
Album?
And she, like, looks at you.
Are they coming off, Album? Please tell
You know
me
what,
they're
I
not
think...
coming off.
He, like, looks at him, he's like, I've secured them as best I can.
Oh, thank God. Thanks, Yaska.
How far from Rose Hall are we?
You'll be there tomorrow.
Were you always like this?
What do you mean?
Always,
You mean tough?
not tough necessarily, no. I just, you've got
Rude.
little brothers, little sisters. Are
Yeah.
they as,
They're adorable.
worldly knowledgeable as you are?
She just glares.
Because they seemed very kind and innocent, and it just seemed such a shame to, bring such dishonor to your family.
I had a lot of fun playing with Sander.
What do you fucking know about honor? You don't fucking know anything about that.
No, true, but I know a lot about innocence.
Yeah, well, why do you think me and Finn and my father have to do the things we do? It's so we can give them that kind of life. So that that Santa can read her books, so that the boys can play together.
What sort of life do you lead, though?
One that gets things done, that earns us money.
How come you get to live that life, but people like Valor have to now sacrifice theirs for yours?
That's the way of the world. The strong survive. Don't they teach you fucking anything in your little bird school? That's how things are down here, Birdman. Strong survive, weak die.
Well,
Your mother's going to be heartbroken when she finds out what you did and what you've done to Valor.
You think my mother doesn't know?
Well, the strong survive. Finn was weaker than a plant.
There is a real grimace. I'm gonna fucking rip that beak off your face if I ever get loose.
Ow.
Or maybe I'll take the other fucking eye.
Quill, that was nasty. Shouldn't have said that.
And then she just kind of sits back down with her restraints and just like puts herself on the ground, glancing.
But you're better than that.
Better? What? No, I
Come on.
Aila would be
had a point.
Because, yeah.
You had a point, but you know.
So, watch. Who's
Can
taking
I
it?
try something?
Sure.
Can I just quietly say to Fila,
Yeah. What do you want to try? Huh? What are you going to do? Can you use a bit of mind magic? Huh?
I suggest you stop trying to escape.
Okay. Save me throw.
13, wisdom.
Okay. You're not 100% sure if the spell takes effect, but she's very strong-willed, and she kind of just grits, just like looks at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't think it is.
Just mark off a spell slot.
Yeah, that's all right. You'll get
Worth
it
it.
back when you complete this long rest.
Oh yeah. Back again.
So who's taking watch?
I'll keep taking watch. This
Okay, Sentry will take the other one. Perception.
Oh my god. Maybe someone else should do this.
Stop rolling in that little.
Yeah, roll
that's
on
the
the table.
worst. There's like a tray right
like
here
that
in
big
between
tray.
us. You see this
Just
nice
roll it. I
tray?
want to see if you get higher. This won't count.
I feel like physics-wise, it makes no difference, but sure.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that,
20.
17.
That's just chance.
That's not
all
the thing you
chance.
get. Okay, so over the night, nothing troubles you in terms of danger, but Lucius, you're kind of distracted by this palace, this beautiful palace at night. First of all, it reminds you of the buildings up in the Sky Cities. It's older, the architecture is obviously older, and it's now dirty and covered in vines, but the style of the building is very reminiscent of the old elven palaces and the old elven buildings up in Gusthaven and places like that. And as you're watching this place at night, it's only for a brief moment, but you are certain you see an elf, a beautiful elven woman, all in white, with a faint glow, walking. There's like an archway hallway that spans over the river and joins the two buildings together. Because there's two buildings on either side, and then they're joined by this large kind of like corridor that links the two buildings. And you see through the windows this woman walking across them. She looks incredibly beautiful. It's like glowing. That's why you can see it from so far away, is you can see this faint figure just moving away across.
Everybody wake up.
Okay.
Everyone.
Sentry is immediately like gets her axe. What is it, Lucius?
There's a glowy lady in the elven building over there.
What?
She's walking inside.
Sentry looks at her.
I don't trust it. I don't trust her. We're going to die.
Get woken up.
Can I have a look as well?
Sure, like turn your good eye towards it.
So I have less on perception, don't I?
-5, yeah.
-5?
Yeah, it's not disadvantage, I believe. I think.
Oh, I thought it was disadvantage.
Maybe it is.
Uh,
Where's my notes?
oh, bam.
Is it the
You have
one?
disadvantage on perception checks. Yes. It's sorry. It was your passive. You have -5 too.
Oh yeah, so I got 9.
9. Yeah. I mean, you're straining. None of you see this woman. None of you see her.
Lucius, are you in shock? I read somewhere that was...
No, I absolutely saw her. She's a very radiant elven lady.
This isn't the first time you've done something like this, remember?
Can I go back to sleep now?
You can't see her?
No. Can I
I
see
mean, you don't
her?
see her anymore. Like she just walked across and then disappeared into the other building.
We need to get away from this building. It's creepy. It could be haunted.
Oh, maybe it's a ghost.
Valor's like, are you telling ghost stories? What?
No. Ghost stories have a really nice story to them. It's not, wake up, I see an elven lady. You'll be like, oh, everybody
rub
gather
her
around the
eyes.
campfire. I've got something to say. Now would not be the time.
Oh, okay.
I've got some
we
great
moving?
ghost stories, Valor, for you when we get back.
I don't want ghost stories.
You don't?
No, I want to sleep.
I want to sleep too.
Okay. Yes, you will go back to sleep.
Can you, like, wake us up if the ghost lady comes closer?
Absolutely.
Good
Or
night.
for future reference, just wake us up when you actually need to.
I thought I did. She could have pounced any moment.
Night.
Good night.
Everyone goes back to sleep. And yeah, you just continue watching this building.
I'm focused on it now.
Yeah, and occasionally you do see her again, but like
I'm
in
thinking
different
of, like,
parts of the building.
Waking everybody up.
You see her like occasionally, like it looks like she draws open windows, and you're quite far away, but you can just make out the details of it with your perception and your kind of keen elven sight. She kind of draws open the windows, like looks out, looks quite sad and lonely.
Does she look this way?
She just looks out, like she's not looking towards anything in particular, and then the curtains draw, and then maybe you see her again moving across the archway. And then morning comes. And you guys make your way back. It takes you a couple of hours since leaving the palace ruins, before you arrive at the north gate of Rose Hall. And I guess my next question is what's the plan once you get to the town?
Well, did we actually see any of the wagons on the journey? Okay, that's fine.
He would have told us. We'd
I
be
would've
dead
told
by
you.
now.
Yeah. Okay.
We would have rolled initiative.
You
would've lost
Mark would've killed
because
you.
we had the person that was controlling the entire damn thing with us.
I guess find
You didn't
Merrick.
see him. So you go straight to
From
find Merrick.
Yeah.
Okay, so you arrive at the gate, and obviously a bunch of people that aren't from the town carrying somebody who is kind of arrested. You see some of the Harvest Guard, probably young Jessup, the young druid, is like, whoa, I can't remember, he's country boy, that's right, that's how he speaks. I had to get there because I almost went West Country with it. Hey, what are y'all doing? Y'all are back?
This is very, very, very crucial.
All right?
We have
Why have you got feeler?
illegal activities that we're partaking in right now, and the Brookstones, everything could all go under if this doesn't go correctly.
Well, what are you talking about? Calm down.
You know that we left the town in regards to the...
Yeah, you were chasing after the one that killed.
hang on, a little quieter. We've got Valor with us.
That's the girl that was taken. Sorry. And you can see, like, she's just got her head down.
We need to get Merrick. That's his name, Merrick.
The field warden.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'll go get him now. And he points at Fila. Is she connected to all this?
Yes, and she should not go anywhere near a Brookstone or a worker of Brookstones at all. No word needs to get out to the Brookstones
Well,
that she's here.
we can stay outside the gate for the time being. Also, don't tell anyone on the journey, please.
Straight to Merrick.
Straight to Merrick, straight back.
They're going to do everything to undermine our case.
All right. Okay. Sure. Okay. Yep.
You got this.
You stay here, and he points to two harvest guards. Look like kind of like typical farmers, but with a bit of armor and gear and stuff on. Will you two stay with these folks? Make sure they don't go anywhere, and I'll go get the field warden.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Post haste.
Yep. And he scoots off.
Excellent. and falls over and dies.
He runs off, and you are waiting maybe 10 minutes before, very quickly, Jessup returns. Field Warden Merrick, still in his armor. You can see that he's got his scale armor. He's got his sword at his side. He's got a longbow on his back. And he's actually got his hawk, his pet hawk is on his shoulder. And he comes like kind of running over. So you found him?
We found the 3 people that had taken... Was it 4? 4 people.
The Goliath, the Miner, Fila, and Finn.
Yeah.
I'm taking you've only got one with you because...
The Goliath attacked us, and...
To slow us down.
I point at Quill's eye and Lucius's leg.
Right.
And then we caught up to the other 3, the Miner, and
Finn.
Brett Brookstone's son, Finn, were killed by something in the woods.
They're already fighting a poisonous plant.
Right.
Killed
And
them
now we
both.
have Fila.
He looks at her. You gonna say, he doesn't have he's just an American accent. Are you gonna say anything about all this, Fila? And she just looks at him. I'll talk to you without these cretins around, Field Warden. And I'll talk to you when my father's present. I bet you will. All right, well, we're gonna have to take her to my place. I have a jail, but it's only really built for 1 or 2 people. So we're gonna have to take her there. I'm gonna have to ask you exactly what happened. We're gonna need to get this formally written down.
Well, I think we might need to move very quickly. We have evidence that it was Brett Brookstone that was behind the entire operation.
Please, just give that to me now. I need to see that.
I don't think we should give it in front of Fila.
I mean, she's tied up with harvest guards here. There's really
She's
nothing
been
to be afraid
threatening
of.
us non-stop.
And that's even more reason that we need to get her into a secure place like my
She
jail.
says the Brookstones own more of Rose Hall than we know.
Well, they have a large worker force. Again, I'm missing what you're trying to say here. We should take her to a cell rather than standing by the guard at the gate.
Once she's locked up, we'll give our testimony.
But once
Right.
Brett finds out that we've just walked through the town with his daughter, we kind of want to stop him before he knows that. Do we not want to get him now?
Well, right now, as far as I'm aware, I need to see this evidence. If you want me to arrest Merrick, if you want me to arrest Brett, I need to see evidence that he is somehow connected to all this.
Sure.
You either give it to me now, or we go back to my place, I lock her up, and we discuss it there. Those are the 2 choices.
The second one.
All right, well, if that's what you want to do, but...
Quill? You look like you want to say something.
I mean, at the very least... Okay, I understand.
All right, and he just clicks his fingers. Jessup and the 2 guards kind of walk either side of Fila, and you make your way to Merrick's. It's probably at this point that you, Aila, are told that the others have returned. Reld and Rosalina probably come and find you somewhere in the tavern and let you know that they've come back, and tell you that they were headed towards Merrick's place, Merrick Field Warden's place. You guys will arrive at Merrick's place. Fila is taken into. You can see that Merrick, he has a side building attached to his house, which is kind of like a kind of Wild West sheriff's jail, in that it's kind of a stone building. It has 2 cells. And a secure door with iron barding, and that's it. He locks her in one. He's got a set of keys on his belt. He locks her in one. They unbound her hands, put her in there, take off any of the equipment that she had, so she's just got her basic clothes, her traveling clothes underneath. He kind of turns to Jessup, is like, go and get her something to eat and drink. Get something for the rest of us as well. All right, let's sit down and talk.
So is it just all of us?
It's you 3, Sentry, Arvel, Valor, and Merrick.
Oh, Valor's with us as well. And
Yeah, unless you want to send us somewhere.
I wander towards Merrick.
So yeah, basically, you'll come in mid-conversation at this point, yeah.
Merrick, we want to make sure that everyone that we're dealing with in this entire process can be trusted.
Well, right now, it's just me and all of you. Are you saying you don't trust me?
I'm not saying I don't trust you. I trust you as much as someone who has just wandered into a town can trust someone.
Trust the person who is responsible for the law in this town. You understand that I'm the sheriff here, right?
No, I do
That
understand.
I'm technically the one who is dealing with this, and
Sheriff-
you are all helping me.
Without causing insult, I think it's just that bad things happen in the wood, and we've suddenly realized that we're all a bunch of naive idiots who don't know who to trust in this. And we've just spent the last 3 days being threatened by this girl, and we're all really, really scared. Like, because what happened last time was Valor lost her guardians because we trusted everybody, and we don't know who to trust now. Because we were having dinner with stupid Brookstone, and he killed everybody.
All right. Well, let me tell you this. You can trust me. I've been put in this position to look after the people. When your friends were killed, I did everything I could to help, right?
I know.
You remember that, right? That's what I'm here for.
Our worry is we don't know where the ears of Brookstone reach, and the corruption could go deep.
They probably do, and I'm going to be honest with you folks, Brett probably knows. The second that you came back into this town, somebody would have seen you. This isn't a big place. It's not a big city.
So
somebody could have been watching that gate, saw you coming in with feeler in chains, and has run off to tell him. So that's why you have to tell me what you know now. At this point, there is a... and,
no. What's happening?
There is he kind of motions, and a guard, there is like a kind of a sound, and a Jessup pokes his in. He's like, sir, that wild elf lady with the red hair, she's here. You know, the ones that were traveling with these folks? Stop!
Oh, it's Aila's back.
Oh, thank goodness.
Perfect timing.
He's like, should I let her in? Seeing as you all seem to be very not sure who you
We
can
can
trust.
trust Aila.
She wasn't around.
She wasn't around.
If you don't let me in soon, I'm gonna go back to the pub and start drinking.
That's okay.
Sentry's like, I
I
think
mean,
we
it
can
sounds
trust
like Aila.
Sentry's like, I think we can trust her. She wouldn't have been involved with
Can
what
I hear
happened with the
this?
Brookstones. You can hear murmuring. Give me a perception check. No. That was like a 2.
You're thinking about beer.
I think we can trust her. We should let her
She
in.
was in the crash with us. A crash that was attacked by...
She helped save most of our lives.
I don't like being outside in this town.
It's true, actually.
Neither do we.
Let her in. The guard, Jessup, is like, this way, miss.
Thanks.
Just gestures inside. We don't have enough chairs. You're going to have to stand up.
I'll live.
All right. Field Marshal, shuts the door. All right. Miss, I don't know how much you know, but your friends...
What happened to you?
Okay. We'll have that conversation then.
Okay, so...
Oh, that looks really gross.
I can't actually see
Probably
it because,
does,
it's
yeah.
my eye.
Yeah.
Is it gross?
I didn't
Yeah.
want to tell you.
You look cool.
Do I
It's
look...
gonna make a really cool scar.
Valor looks at you, Quill. It's like, did that happen when you fought the Goliath?
yeah, we fought a Goliath.
I
Yeah.
missed it. Damn it.
Yeah,
It's been
actually,
really bad,
it's
Aila.
been probably the
You've
worst.
been crying.
A lot.
Oh god. No.
It's been a really hard.
Sentry looks at you.
don't start again.
Sentry looks at you, metal face. It has been very sad. Completely blank expression.
Okay.
Echo's dead.
I'm going to fix him. It's fine. I'm going to fix him. Merrick turns just like, I don't mean to interrupt, but again, what do you
What
know?
do you think about Brett Brookstone?
What happened to your leg?
I broke it. What do you think of Brett Brookstone?
Well,
Is he good or bad? Is he good or baddie?
bad.
Okay, she's fine.
Most people here are bad. They don't like me. So I don't like them.
Would Brett Brookstone work with a wire?
Not you.
The
You're
lawman
fine.
like looks is like
No.
You're good.
nice.
We talked.
Nice
We're fine.
recovery. Yeah, sure. Did that old elf help?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Listen,
Here.
what do you know? All right.
I'll give the letter. We found this on the Goliath.
All right. Damn it.
Are there any other BBs in the town?
No, but in terms of a court of law, it's not concrete evidence. I know what Brett's going to say to this.
But we've
know.
got direct ties with his children.
I know, but that doesn't...
We all
At most,
saw
that
them.
makes him guilty of kidnapping, not of murder. Now, what happened with this Goliath? You killed him?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that he attacked you, you killed him in
He
self-defense,
jumped
right?
us, yes.
All right, well, that we can write off. What happened to the other Brookstone kid, Finn?
Was attacked by a plant. They were already fighting a plant when we arrived.
They'd gone ahead.
It's something that can dissolve.
Oh, I'm
Very
assuming they were in the Iron World then.
Yes,
Yes,
they were.
All right.
acidic, and they were
I've
fighting
heard
it.
All right, yeah, we've heard of those kind of plants before. They sometimes they sneak up on some people who go out into the woods.
And I know this doesn't sound like it will help at all, but we chased them on a giant elk.
That doesn't help. Why are you telling me that?
It says they had a contact in
It's a
Ironwick.
good elf.
You couldn't make it up, is what I'm saying.
It's been a long.
We found a dryad.
All right, listen. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep Fila. Now, you caught her with Valor, right?
In
Yeah.
a sack, yes.
And he looks at Valor. Do you remember this lady? And Valor looks, he's like, I don't remember much. They put something in my food the first night. They made me eat something. They forced me to. But I think I remember seeing her. There was a man that was doing it. He gave me the food, and then I got sleepy. He's like, okay, all right, not the best witness statement, but you caught them. We'll take you as witnesses. That means that Fila is certainly guilty of kidnapping, and if she was traveling with the Goliath, that can make her an accessory to murder. If Brookstone was the one who hired this Goliath or involved him in some way, maybe he's an accessory too, but...
Do you have any contacts in Ironwick or any way of contacting them?
No,
They
the
said
village
they
is
had-
out here. We all keep ourselves to ourselves. I mean, I've got my superior up in Goldthrone, but I don't know the sheriff I don't know the field warden of Ironwick very well, unfortunately.
We could go to the stable master guy. Tammin. There were 2 horses that were taken out. Maybe, for some reason, he
All
might know
right.
something.
He turns around. He's like, Jessup, get in here. I need you to go get the stable guy, Tammin. Go get him.
We could also talk to the horses.
I don't think that's going to hold up in a court of law. All right. Okay.
Sounds fun though.
I did say
This is a mess.
they are really nice. They're the nicest people
Stop crying.
I've been with
Stop.
recently.
No, it's fine.
Alternatively, this sounds odd, but some people are able to attune to the memories of guardians. Sentry saw all of this.
When she saw what you guys saw, I mean, I'm just going to take her statement as a witness report anyway.
I know, true, but you're able to see the direct memories of these people. I mean, that is more concrete than just a statement, surely.
It is. I mean, to be honest, I can ask Torvin for help. He has abilities that can force people to tell the truth.
That sounds even better.
But again, my point is, the person who is guilty of murder is dead. Even if Brookstone hires the Goliath, even if Fila is the one that helped kidnap Valor, those are not at most I can have them imprisoned.
A kidnapping is not
It's not
punishable offense.
it's not punishable by death is what I mean.
Why would there be death? Who's dying?
Well, I'm assuming, considering the way that you were looking, that's kind of what you were angling.
No, not at all.
All right,
Do you want
that's
them
fine.
dead? I think we just put Brookstone where
And
he
you can
belongs.
see Vala's expression is one of like, I want him dead.
I think justice should be dealt.
Well, justice will be served. If we have evidence that ties Brett Brookstone to hiring the Goliath, we have his daughter, they will both be guilty of kidnapping and accessory to murder, which will probably carry at least a, maybe 30-year or lifetime sentence.
What would this do for the town?
It'll be bad. Brookstone has a lot of workers, and at this point is when you can hear the crowds outside. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, a crowd!
I don't like crowds.
How angry
We'll see
do they
you after
sound?
the break.
Oh,
Shit.
see you in a bit.
Bye for now.
No.
We're dead.
Hello! Welcome back! God, you actually did.
He did.
It's squishy
No, it's in your
little.
hand.
No, it's not. It's nice.
No, it's panda cake.
Is it squishy?
Yeah,
Welcome back.
It's really soft.
To High Rollers.
like a cloud.
Everyone's enjoying cake that Kim brought
Like
in.
a
Pandan
cloud.
cake.
It's cloud cake.
Pandan chiffon
cake.
cake.
As we return to the group, currently all stationed in the small cell building attached to Merritt Tallfellow, the field warden of Rose Hall. They are currently discussing the crimes of Brett Brookstone and his family. When a large crowd can be heard gathering outside. There's not really much of a window, but there is like slits, like a kind of like a slit at the top of the building that you can kind of peer into. And yeah, there is a growing crowd. Mixture of people. Some folks appear to just be townsfolk curious as to what's going on. But anybody who pops their head outside or has a look can see that coming down from the northwest side of the town, there is about 15 men and women with pickaxes, pitchforks, that sort of equipment. No real armor, but just like mining gear. And amongst the crowd is a man, is Brett Brookstone, this tall, quite handsome in his dwindling years, dark-haired, dark-bearded man. He is wearing an old breastplate, and he has got a great sword over his shoulders.
No prisoners today.
Merrick is just like, wow, he must know that we've pretty much got him cornered then if he's going to this kind of extreme. Jessup, go get Wendy. She's probably out, she might have to go and find her somewhere, but go and get one of the harvest guards you can find.
Does this make him look really guilty, or?
Oh yeah. I imagine that he's not too happy that we have Fila.
Now can we hit him?
Out of
Let's
interest.
see how this goes first.
He still doesn't know about his son.
Oh,
He's gonna kill us.
we're going to die.
I think
Now can we hit him?
he's not. I don't think he is stupid enough to attack us unless
Provoked.
he really thinks, unless provoked, or unless he really thinks he's got no other options. Right now, we do have Fila, and he does love his family.
Well, we might be able to break through some armor, mentally speaking.
I suggest
Not physically, Aila. Not yet,
you all
anyway.
come out with me.
I'm just waiting. Just say the word.
Okay.
Master Arvel, would you mind looking after Valor? And you can see that Valor is like digging her hands into like the table, and you can see like this very pained expression on her face. And Arvel just kind of puts a hand on her shoulder, and she's just looking towards the door.
Valor, we will make sure that everything is right.
She kind of snaps out of it for a moment, looks at you, is like, huh?
We'll make sure that everything is right.
Good,
Okay.
good.
I'll just pick up my hammer and like wink at her.
Yeah, she look like when she sees that, she just nods. She's like, yeah, thank you, Will. And just nods. So you step outside. The young boy Jessup runs off. As soon as you get outside, you see him run off, and a couple of the kind of miners appear to go after him, but then Brooke just holds up her hand, and they kind of stay with him. You can see it's him with about 15 of them. No sign of his family. And as you approach, he just glowers. He points. Give me back my daughter right now.
I'm sort of going to whisper to Lucius, we need to delay this as much as we can.
Let's just give him everything.
No, we need to delay this as much as we can until more harvest guard gets
Stop your yammering. Give me my girl. Now.
here. Brett. Mr. Brookstone. We can't do that.
You will if you know what's good for you, boy.
If you know what's good for you, you'll allow us to go through the normal court proceedings.
You think I'm gonna let my girl go to some jumped up fancy boy prison up in Gold Throne? You think I'm gonna let some sort of stranger like this field warden take her away? God, by the gods, you're stupid.
Well, no, we never said we were taking her away.
That's your assumption.
He looks at you, he's like, oh, you better not be trying to imply what I think you are, because you ain't that stupid, Birdman.
Birdman. Now, we got along so famously, Brett.
Yeah, we did.
Are you?
So that's why I'm giving you this
He's
chance.
sassy.
I think so.
You give me my daughter back right now. You and your friends can leave. You give me my daughter. Well, maybe hand over that girl too, and I'll let y'all leave.
No,
Now, girl,
she is not yours.
I didn't say she
You
was.
killed her guardians.
I didn't kill nobody.
You hired the Goliath that did it.
And I didn't tell him to kill a damn thing. He was
You
supposed
are
to just grab the
responsible.
He
girl.
admitted it. Can I hit him now?
I mean, you did just say you hired a Goliath to kidnap somebody.
Y'all ain't stupid, as if you were trying to trap me. You knew exactly what I'd done as soon as you found them. If you've brought Fila back, that means that brute's dead. Which means you found the letter I gave that had implicated that I hired him. So let's not play any fucking games here.
But
You've got my daughter.
Merrick,
Yeah,
did
he-
you hear it?
I did.
Good. Just making sure.
We knew that it's what we knew already. Now listen, Brett. Right now we've got your daughter and she's going away. Kidnapping, accessory to murder. Same applies to you. Now you can make this hard or you can make this easy, Brookstone.
can we make it really easy?
Yeah, we can, Elf. You just give me my daughter and that Valor girl. You can be all on your way.
Why do you want her?
Because she's worth a damn fortune.
She is not yours.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't give a damn who she belongs to or whatever. All I know is that there's a price on her head that would set me and my family up for life. And I've worked damn hard to give my family a good life. I'm not gonna let some snotty fucking alien bastards or weird elves come in and take that opportunity from me.
I'm not sure how good a life your family has. Surely you've heard about your son.
There is a break in his expression as he, what are you talking about? Where's Finn?
Where's Finn? He's not in there.
What did you do with him? And he starts taking steps towards Quill.
Now, I wouldn't step forward.
I'm going to bring up my hammer and stand right in front of
And
Quill.
he starts bringing the greatsword off of his shoulder.
This would be assault.
Assault? You done anything to hurt my fucking
No.
boy, it's gonna be a whole lot of murder. It's gonna be more than those two fucking priests that got in that Goliath's way, I'll tell you that right now. You're all gonna fucking die here! And he's starting to take a few more steps towards Quill. And you can see the miners all making their way. And you can see that Merrick kind of gestures. There's only really the other two guards, but they all kind of take positions as well.
Okay, I'm gonna hand on gun.
Okay.
I'm going to address everyone else, all the workers, and say, is this really someone you want to work for? Someone who's willing to sacrifice his own family to get what he wants?
And sell a child.
Sacrifice my family. I'm doing this for my family. He turns to the workers. Don't listen to these fucking outsiders. I gave you all jobs when none of these other fuckers would give you a goddamn time of day. You owe me.
Jobs in a town you all live in, a town that he has killed in. He'd sell you up the river just as quickly as he did his own family.
Turns to you. I haven't killed a goddamn person unless you keep fucking talking. Then you're gonna be the first on my list.
He expended his own family for his personal gain. He's probably going to do the same to each and every one of you.
You two. Well, I'd say Quill started this, so you're gonna make a persuasion check, Quill. But Nova, you're helping.
Is my intimidating hammer presence?
Sure, you can make an intimidate to try and help. So total persuasion.
19.
19. You can make intimidate.
Nope.
My persuasion's
You're
gone.
kind of you look too just like you just look too happy. You're just like
I just want to hit
you're just
someone.
like, nobody's really thinks that you're actually going to hit them. They just think that you're excited by the scenario. So what did you get?
I
Final
got 8 on persuasion.
8. Okay. Well, you have advantage because
Okay.
Kim succeeded.
8 still.
There's a
Stop
general
rolling in your
murmuring.
notebook.
There's a general murmuring, and then Brett just turns around, looks to the rest of me, is like, I haven't sacrificed. The reason that I send my kids is because I don't believe that if a man's willing to sacrifice something, people shouldn't work hard for it. That girl's worth a fortune. You help me get her. I'll split it all with you evenly. That'll set us all up. We can rule this town together. Kick out this useless sheriff. Kick out these outsiders. Make sure no more fucking wild elves spits on the ground. Come anywhere fucking near us. Now who's with me? And the crowd cheers with Brett Brookstone.
Oh God.
It's a quick note. If you're this noble Mr. Brookstone that's willing to do everything for his people, why didn't you run off into the forest instead of sending your children?
Because I had to keep y'all in my fucking house so you weren't there when that Goliath came
I would have
along.
accepted a beautiful dinner from any of your family members, not just you.
Well, you can say that, but we know that ain't true, ain't it?
No, quite honestly, I would have accepted a meal from anybody.
Doesn't seem to be hitting home. Either they think that you're too fickle, like you're like, oh, I just would accept anybody because I'm really nice, but the kind of intent of like trying to set him up as this villain isn't quite hitting home. Like Quill didn't quite convince them. I mean, you can make a persuasion check if you want, but it's going to be pretty hard now that
No,
Quill's
it was a flimsy.
yeah, it's literally a general Lucius thing. So at this point, the crowd begins shaping up, ready for a fight.
Didn't you say that you didn't kill?
Yeah, you can try something. Yeah, sure. What do you want to do?
I mean, that's what I said to the sheriff, but like.
He just looks at Quill and is like, where is my boy? Do you want to do something, Kim?
I suggest you stand down.
Kim, that's a 19 on a dice roll. He like, his eyes twist for a minute and then he looks. Oh, is that the way it is now? And he turns to the crowd. They're trying to fucking use magic on me. No wonder we can't trust these people, trying to get in inside our heads. And then, at this point, I think that's probably going to be roll initiative for everybody.
Oh, this is nasty.
I'm rolling.
I mean, have we delayed it by quite a long time?
You have. Let's just
18.
do it on the back of this.
6.
So,
Shit.
Don't forget you've had a long rest, by the way. Also, you had levels of
oh.
exhaustion and stuff like that.
Horse.
yeah, all that stuff's
Tom,
gone.
Don't forget
You still have your injuries, but everything else is still there.
because I reset mine because I had
Um.
some stuff.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay,
That's all good.
so...
How many NPCs do you have to roll for?
A lot, annoyingly. Well, so the way it's going to work is because there's such a big crowd of like the miners.
Oh, it's just gonna be
Merrick,
one group.
Merrick, and the 2 guards are going to go fight a bunch of them, and then you're going to have to fight probably Brett and a bunch of the others at the same time. So they're just going to try and keep you guys from being completely overwhelmed. And then if you get reinforcements, they'll help them, and they'll probably try and peel some of the guys that you're fighting away. So that way, I'm not trying to control like 1,000,001 characters. But I will control Sentry, at which point I'm going to need D&D Beyond.
Oh,
Rosalina.
Not entirely sure how I feel about
charity
fighting
brigade.
civilians.
Yeah, it's pretty bad one, right?
We're defending ourselves.
Oh, why are you not connected?
Let them attack first, I guess.
God dang.
They attack up.
Make everything a reaction. instead of an action.
fun.
Badlands.
Yeah, you've kind of angered the dodgy patriarch character.
Maybe
He's a twat.
He is 100% a twat.
He's
Yes.
a twat.
maybe we can just take the charity, just get out of here, just go live some peaceful lives. Maybe in some
Take the
elven
charity
spire.
money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, fuck
we've
it, you guys
tried.
don't deserve this. Look what you've done.
Okay.
We're funding this.
You roll for Sentry, and then I will ask everybody for things. So, Aila, initiative.
11.
Quill.
Unnatural 20.
Nova.
6.
Lucius.
18.
Okay, Quill. You can see that the crowd is... They've been building up to this further point now, and you're not. You can obviously still try and convince them to stand down, but they are on Brett's side, and he is pushing them to get his kid back that he knows is inside this cell. And he is not, as it stands, unless you can make some sort of deal, unless you can kind of convince him to stand down in some way, he's not gonna submit. He's not gonna go quietly. So what do you want to do? I don't want to tell you this has to be a fight just because we've rolled initiative.
I know.
Right?
I
You guys can
wasn't-
still
I
try
wasn't
other
planning
stuff.
on doing that. Regardless, I'm going to get my gun and I'm going to aim it directly at Brett.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to him, if you stand down now, we can tell you where your son is. You can give him the burial he deserves. Otherwise, like father, like son.
Okay. Man, Quill is not messing around today. We've got Angry Birds.
It's so fun.
Well, that's the title of the episode.
Angry bird.
So I think that's going to be an Intimidate check.
Oh, I don't have my inspiration.
Can you inspire yourself?
It's 10. I thought I was
10?
good. Did I get an advantage?
He just looks, and you can see that when you say burial, it just twigs. He just snarls. You're the first one that's gonna die.
Yeah, crap.
And then he starts coming towards you. So you've still got an action though. Like speaking, I'd say was a bonus action.
In that case.
Because you were doing a bit more than just a normal like speaking as a free action.
Yeah,
and
that's
trying to
fair.
intimidate him.
Oh,
So you can find a gun, you can cast a spell. You need to drop the gun if you want to cast a spell though.
Oh, I do.
But you could just drop it and then go, ha! Like it's like a diversion, like, I've got a gun. Actually, no, I've got magic.
I kind of want to bind him in place somehow, but I'm not sure I can. I can't. In that case, do I shoot at him or do I shoot like at the floor right next to him? He's coming towards us, isn't he? Like, regardless.
Yeah.
It's all in your mind.
Come
Oh.
right for us.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna shoot at him.
Give me an attack roll.
Shoot his leg.
You're taking the.
Shoot.
I want to try
Range
and
attack roll?
subdue him in place.
Sure.
Oh no.
Shooting his left.
Um, 6.
Bullet just blows up. The bullet goes flying into the air as the kickback, rockets out your hand. You're still not used to this
It's a
thing.
warning shot.
Sure. Yeah, you can pull it off as that, as a warning shot.
Does
Okay,
that stop him in his tracks at all?
you just hear this. Poof, there's kind of a wince. The crowd definitely kind of like ducked down, fearing that some magic shotgun or something like that. But Brett is just focused dead on you. And just looks at you with all the fury in the world. Like you have royally pissed him off. Would you like to do anything? You're kind of stood out in this big open space. In terms of movement, you can move around, but once this crowd gets to you, there's not really like any cover. There's not really any cover. You're basically in the middle of a big open market square.
Okay. I guess we were all standing in a line as well.
In front of the cell, yeah. This is like a real Western style. Like you're between the prisoner and the bad gang, and you're in the way.
Am I next to Sentry?
You can be next to Sentry, sure.
Then I'll sort of.
You can
stand
move
in
next to
place.
Sentry, yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to move up specifically next to Sentry, you can do that.
Then she can be my
Yeah.
protector.
So the miners surge forward, at which point Merrick is just like, "Fuck. We'll try and keep them off your back. Try and subdue Brett if you can." And then the three of them are going to charge in, and they're going to take, at this rate, it's going to be the three of them versus about 14, 15 of these miners.
Help? Like, I guess on my turn. But...
You can, but you're going to have 5 of these guys and Brett still coming towards you. So if you want to, you can help the others, but that's up to you. But in terms of me running them mechanically, I'm just going to make rolls for them and then the NPCs that aren't participating directly in the fight, all right? So yeah, they start running in, but then 5 of them are still going to come for each of you as well. So we'll roll for the big group first.
They got higher than 18.
What's that? Yes, yeah. The miner's got 20. So that's why Quill went first. So we'll basically even this out with 1 attack each.
Okay.
Against Aila. So that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. Against Quill, that is a 14 to hit.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So this miner comes up, only 3 points of damage as it swings this pick, just narrowly collapsing it. You hear Brett kind of shout out like, "Make sure you don't kill the Birdman, he's mine."
Oh. He said he was going to eat
Nova,
me as well.
9 to hit you.
9?
9, yep. Lucius, 19 to hit you.
Yeah.
You're gonna get stuffed in.
That's going to be 5 points of damage as one kind of swings this axe towards you. It's like a woodcutter's axe. Against Sentry, the tip of the point actually seems to have it seems much better at piercing her armor.
You get hit on the blind side.
Oh, God, yeah.
Sentry's going to take 2 points
It was the trophy comment.
of damage.
you
So
hear what I
after the miners, we go to Lucius.
Stuff me, yeah.
And mount you.
Gonna reactively cast Blade Ward on myself,
Okay, that's your whole action.
and I'm gonna say,
Okay.
using my entire movement, of which is halved, to Brett Brookstone.
Okay.
Think about it, Mr. Brookstone. The person that you're trying to sell is with your daughter, and she's angry that her 2 guardians are dead and she's willing to kill. Stand down.
He looks at you, he's like, you threatening my girl?
I'm saying that Valor is an explosion waiting to go off, and your daughter is in the firing line.
Give me a persuasion check. So I know you're trying to negotiate, you're not trying to intimidate him, you're trying to say, think about this rationally.
11.
He just looks and he's like, well, then there's only one solution. Cut through you lot and get to her first.
I'm baffled by it.
His stubbornness.
Yeah.
Stunned.
Yeah. Well, you get the sense that now at this point that it's more his rage than his logic is driving his actions.
Is that my fault?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that was going to
So Sentry-
through rather than rage him.
Sentry is going to attempt to use one of her channel divinities, Nature's Wrath. She probably, like maybe the broken fragments of Echo, she kind of puts them on the ground and they kind of feed into the dirt, and these vines erupt out of the ground and try and grab onto Brett Brookstone.
Nice.
He's going to make the creature must say it's Sentry's choice. He will have to make a dex saving throw, of which he fails.
Oh.
So you watch as these vines kind of wrap up all around Brett Brookstone, and he's kind of held taut. He's currently restrained.
Nice.
And so he can't move, but he can make saving throws at the end of each of his turns. And he just is like, get these things off me! And he's struggling to free himself, but he can't. And then she will stand next to Lucia to Quill. And that's it. That's Sentry's turn. Brett Brookstone, at the end of his turn, will attempt to break free. However, he does at the end of his turn. So he basically like rips these vines, these kind of spectral vines off of him. And it's just like, you're just delaying the inevitable. And looks over to everyone else. Aila. It's about 30 feet.
And he's still visibly, these guys are still visibly trying to coax him down.
I mean, they're talking to him.
I'm going to...
I mean, they're talking to him.
Yeah.
Aila can do whatever the hell Aila wants.
What would Aila do?
Aila would rage and smash face, I think.
He's complete racist.
Yeah, do it. Like, if that's what
Yeah.
Aila would do.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
This makes it better for, like, the personal drama of, like, fuck no.
He's a big wild elf racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's
not
going
going
to
to listen to you at all.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to
just-
rage and I'm going to smack him.
So the whole day has been pretty overcast, like with these dark clouds, and then you watch as the familiar lightning begins to crackle up and down Ayla's arms. Her eyes just go that bright, pure blue as you just hear this rattle across the plains as she just sprints forward. Are you just going to try and run past? Because one guy will get an attack opportunity against you.
Sure.
For a 8.
Nope.
So you just sprint past, and this guy goes to swipe, but you're already dashing forward. Howling Gale ready as you kind of like bring it. Brookstone tries to bring up the sword, but
Oh, please,
let's see what hits. Would you like to be
please.
reckless?
No, not right now.
This is calculated for the time being.
Oh man, those dice.
That is a fail. Every single dice I've used today.
Yeah, so
been
you bring the
a fail.
hammer swinging down, but he
But
brings the
he's
great
in
sword.
my aura. So
He is, so you get
take
to-
a save.
Dex saving throw? Failed.
Okay.
It's just a
Yep,
That's
one.
calculations.
There you go. Point damage.
It just kind of zaps him a little bit, but he blocks the Howling Gale, a huge warhammer, with his greatsword. You can see he's pretty damn fucking strong as well, as he just swings the hammer to the side. He's like, oh, it's like that, is it? Fine, I'll kill you first.
oh,
Good luck.
nice.
Second in the queue.
Boop, boop, boop,
Move
Nova.
down in the order.
That's a good place to be.
Who's nearest to me?
I mean, you've got a miner right in front of you swinging a pitchfork at you. You've probably got Lucius and Quill on either side of you.
Lucius. Quill. I don't know what to do.
Defend yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna shut my eyes, point towards Brett Brookstone, and cast levitate on him.
Okay.
Nice.
If I remember from when I did it,
Constitution saving
yeah,
throw.
they get a saving
13.
throw. Con saving throw, yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
21. So you try and like lift him up in the air, but he just shrugs it off like this kind of almost like a field of magic around him. He swipes the blade, kind of breaking the aura of magic. Yeah. That's your action. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Quill.
So it was a good one.
Quill.
I mean,
Up to you.
I am so
Any
lost.
more quips, buddy?
I'm so lost of what to
Why don't you
do.
piss him off more? That really works.
Okay,
Get really angry.
Fine.
Fine, I'm working on that.
Fine,
It's all
I'll
good.
shoot a level 2 guiding bolt at him then.
At Brett Brookstone?
Yeah.
Make the attack roll.
Okay. 18.
That's gonna hit him.
Cool. So that is 5d6.
Oh my god.
Wow, okay.
And what did you say? Do you do anything in particular, or?
No, same as normal.
Just the
Hesper
hand.
hand.
Yep.
Launches right at him. Covers his face.
I believe this gives everybody advantage on their next attack rolls. Jesus, Tom Hazel.
Can you stop rolling on your
That was an 8.
notebook, please?
Re-roll those two, please. Thank you.
Good, that's better.
Yeah, that's fine.
10, 16, 17, 21 damage.
Wow. Nice.
So you hold up this hand, and with your, you should have technically had disadvantage on that attack roll because it's a ranged spell attack.
Oh, it's better.
It's better, so
There
it
you
still
go,
hits.
So even though through this eye, you kind of close your one good eye for a moment and let just Hesper, this
Hesper's
magic guide you.
Guiding bolt, yes.
And you launch it out. Ayla, you kind of sense the magic. You step back, and Brett kind of goes to push with you, like kind of put you on the defensive. As he does, he just steps into this beam of light that just engulfs him. It's kind of like sticking to part of his body. You can see like trails and wisps of this kind of like radiant energy falling off him, and you can see it burnt horribly one of his arms as he just staggers back, just like and staggers to his side.
I don't think you've even seen what Valor can do yet.
The miner next to it, like, he kind of calls out. The miner's like, "Stupid fucking Birdman!"
Oh god.
That's amazing.
That's a natural 20! Oh my
Not
god!
another injury check.
That's a Constitution saving throw.
17.
You're fine. However,
You lose your other eye.
that is gonna be... That's 18 points of damage as the spiked end of the pick just thump into your chest.
Oh my god.
I have 1 HP.
You're our healer.
Oh,
Holy shit.
yeah. The other
This is
ones,
going great.
they're going to attack. Ayla, that is a 13 to hit you. Nova, that is a 21.
Yeah, that.
I like how the damage sponge isn't taking any damage.
That's gonna
It's
hit me?
missing.
Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you could shield it, so that's 10 points.
that's fine.
10 points of damage. Lucius, that's a 23. That's going to be 5
Okay.
points of damage.
It's like what happened with Laura all over again.
It's okay.
Mrs. Sentry.
I've got 1 HP. I know I'm now safe until Brett gets close to me.
I'll try.
He was told not to kill me.
You see one of the guards with Merrick just gets, like, a bunch of picks hit him and he just slumps to the floor dead. Merrick is desperately with his longsword, like, trying to fend them off.
What have we done?
His eagle swoops in and, like, or his hawk swoops in and, like, gets one of the miners' eyes and is, like, pecking at his face.
Oh, I know how
But
that feels.
they're being swamped. You can see them being kind of overwhelmed. After the miners go, you just hear this kind of, and this door kicks open from the jail cell,
Oh, crap.
and Valor's just stood there, like
no.
long dark hair, purple robes, and she just looks, and you can see that in her hand is the holy symbol of Siaska that Arvel took off of Yusef's body, and she's holding it, and she just goes like, "You fucking dickhead!" and just woo, 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 woo. 3 magic missiles come flying out towards Brett Brookstone.
Okay.
I warned you.
I'm gonna have to tell her about the swearing later.
Yeah, that's grounding.
Not enough to kill him, but he just is like, boof, 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 like pummeled by these energy missiles, and she's just standing there like screaming. You can see like tears running down her face. Arvel like quickly comes like rushing out behind her and is like, "Fuck, damn it, girl!" And is like pulling out his crossbow now, trying to get in position. Lucius.
Bugger. I'm going to disengage
Yeah, you can spend your action to disengage.
because I've realized now that no one is in there with Feeler.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in there
Okay.
Run in there.
Yeah, you just run
or
in there.
hobble in there.
You kind of hobble in there past Valor and Arvel, and you can see Feela's like pressed her face up against the jail and is trying to see what's going on.
Your father's almost dead. Stop this senseless violence.
And you're gonna have to take me out there. I can't do it from in here.
That's a bad idea.
Sentry on her turn will heal Quill. She'll put 10, let's say 14 HP into Quill.
Damn.
Like seeing how badly injured you are, she just puts a hand on you and it's like, Quill, heals you up. Yep. Look, my sound effects
I like
are very
it.
important.
I approve of it.
I know.
Oh, I just realised all the people who have been attacking me would have disadvantage because of Sentry's protection.
Only if she uses her reaction. She can only do it once per turn.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, you're still squished.
I forgot about that. So,
That's cool. That's fine.
Brett Brookstone, sensing that he is like, very badly hurt but still enraged, will try and hit Aila. That is a 13 on his first attack. Second attack is a 15.
Nope.
Paching, paching! The clang of these metals, you're bringing up the hammer to kind of block each attack as it just comes scaling off. Yeah, just sliding away from him. Doesn't hit him at all. Your turn.
I'm gonna hit him.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Normal, non-reckless?
Yeah, normal.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go reckless. I'm gonna go reckless.
Okay, go for it.
YOLO.
He's not hit you yet, so like, means a good job you did.
16.
Just hits him, yeah. So the hammer, finally, you kind of block, you parry 2 of these blows, and then you swing the hammer in an underhand strike, trying to catch him off guard.
Saving throw.
Yep, for your lightning damage. That's a fail on that as well.
10 damage from the hammer, and then 1 lightning
Okay.
1 every time.
So you you wait for a moment as you feel this kind of bolt of lightning traveling down your arm into Howling Gale, and then as it connects with it, it's the perfect moment where the lightning kind of hits into the hammer itself, and you knock him up into the air, and this lightning kind of like zaps him back, and you just see him like, ah! And then he
Damn.
lands unmoving on his back.
Spit on him.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
did it to me!
Yeah. Give him a good spit. Nice. Yeah. Anything else? That's your action and bonus action. Nova.
Should he be dead? Would it be better if he was alive?
I'm in the.
At this point, everybody is like in a desperate battle. All these miners are around you. Like you're kind of surrounded by this cacophony of noise. Nobody seems to hear you ask the question. What do you do, Nova?
Can I cast Eldritch Blast over the heads of the crowd
Do you want to try and scare
to
them?
try and stop them?
Okay.
Like,
Give me a intimidate. But I'll give you a bonus. An unknown bonus.
1.
Maybe. Might be higher.
18.
Okay, that's enough where there's kind of like, huh, as you kind of send this arcane energy kind of like, as they suddenly realize, but it more just draws their attention to the fact that Brett is on his back, like dead, and everybody seems to stop. Merrick is kind of like half drawn, kind of slams a fist into a face of a guy. Like it was like kind of caught half action already.
Is he dead though, or does he have to make saving throws?
Are you in character? You have no idea. Like there's no such thing as a saving throw.
I'm just gonna shout, enough!
So you shout that, so as Nova shouts enough, you kind of feel and you turn around as the fighting seems to have semi-ceased, that the Dwarven woman, Windy Gale, the head, like one of the elite harvest guards, Jessup, and a bunch of others, along with people like Rosalina, Reld, a bunch of the others like the Dale Geld, Maximilian, I think. A bunch of the other townsfolk have basically mustered themselves into a militia and are marching towards where you guys have been fighting off this group. And you can hear Windy Gale just shouting. Daza the Smith is with them as well, and she can see she's got 2 like little hammers and she's got like breastplate on and she's like ready for a fucking fight. And the Windy Gale just shouts out like, "Stop what you're doing right now!" And just starts bellowing at the crowd. And you can see the miners now, seeing that their advantage of numbers and the fact that their leader's on the ground, they're now sort of like, "Oh shit, what have we done? Ooh!" But to the top of the round, it is
Still
Quill.
initiative. So they're backing off?
The miners definitely are not fighting you anymore. They're kind of they're slowly, because they kind of get the next turn after you. They're slowly beginning to just group themselves together. Like, well, if you're going to try and arrest us, we're all together and we're still going to fight, but we're not going to fight you anymore.
Okay.
Like, you can see them kind of like doing that thing, like rioters do, right? Where they're like, "Ooh, we've been beaten and the police have shown up.
Yeah.
Let's run."
Trying to hide their weapons.
Yeah, like it looks like they're about to run. Like, it does look like they're at breaking point.
Could I call Arvel along with me to run up to Brett? I would heal him, he would start binding him.
Okay.
Or I'd try to.
So you call that out to Arvel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you run up.
So there's like a turn between, because Arvel I imagine is like low in the round. I just mean in terms of something that we would do at the same time. Because I necessarily
no, you
wouldn't.
can do it at the same time, yeah.
His face.
I like doing this because it really makes you second guess it. Is that what Quill would do? So Quill calls out to Arvel and says, "Come with me, we're going to heal him."
Yeah, well, I'm just worried that within the bounds of the game, if it's me heal him and he gets a turn, he fucks off, and then Arvel tries to bind him after the turn.
So
I mean, it's something that I would
he's
do.
He's holding his action. Then,
Yeah, for when Arvel binds him.
Right, okay. Well, Arvel goes after the miners. The miners will kind of back up. Arvel walks up with you. What's your passive perception now? 15?
Yes.
Okay. You catch, as you begin moving, you call out to Arvel, like, "Come with me, we're going to heal him." And you start moving towards Brookstone. Valor is just running with the knife towards his body. She's just
for God's
like,
sake.
and she's running towards him. But it's still your turn, so. She's just like, "You fucker, I'm gonna fucking kill you." She's like screaming at him. And you can see that she's like crying and her hair's a mess, but she's just got this knife and she's ready. And let's say it's Nova's knife that she gave her.
Pinning it on me.
And I can't.
Wish it was Lucius and Nova both gave her a knife, right? So she probably has both of them. Like, she's got both knives
Ready
and
to
she's like,
jump.
yeah.
Bad parents.
We did a bad here.
It's that meme, isn't it? Like, "Valor, what have you got there?" "A knife." "No!" What do you do, Quill?
Is she?
So you can.
Is she like
heal.
sideways to me?
No, she's like you are running up to it, and yeah, she's running at another angle. You're moving at the same speed, and she goes at the same turn.
In that
as Arvel,
case.
so
I've got.
you're both
Gust.
going to get there at the same time. Yeah, you can try and blow her away.
I kind of want to. Is it possible to disarm her with that?
Not really. You can knock her back, knock her prone.
I want to. God, do I want to do that? I really don't. But
The other one, you could try and grab her. You could try and like tackle her to the ground. If you wanted to try and stop her,
I think my aim is
When is
to
my turn?
quite low.
Okay, I'm
Sorry,
gonna
dude.
do a gust that's not enough to hurt her,
Okay.
but like to push her away,
So
and
saving
then
throw,
I will
right?
then get in front of Brett.
Okay. So saving throw, right, for Valor?
It's a strength one, yeah.
DC.
13.
It's enough. She's not very strong. She's only a little kid. So you kind of, with one wing, whoosh, this kind of gust of wind, it kind of knocks her back and knocks her onto the ground, and then she scrambles up like, "No!" And she's
then
like,
I'll-
calls out.
Like speed on like.
Well, it's your action to cast Gust, but you stand in front of Brett Brookstone, and then Arvel's going to try and bind.
Yeah, and I'm like trying to block Vala's path.
Yeah, okay, and you see that, yeah, like, Arvel looks at you, and Arvel's an old, wise dwarf who realizes why you're trying to save him. He doesn't like this guy, but he kind of gives you a nod, and you can see him with bandages start, like, you can see him just, like, tending to his wounds, stabilizing him. And he does manage to stabilize
Oh,
him.
okay. Right,
And
okay,
Valor
yeah.
is like, by the time she picks herself up off the ground, she's just like, "No!" And, like, she's probably at you and, like, trying to get past you, and you're kind of, like, holding her back with your
Yeah,
body
I'm trying
kind
to
of thing.
stop her from getting
Yeah.
to him.
And she's just like, and she probably at this point, she's like, "No, Quill!" And she just starts crying and sobbing. She's like, "He killed them! He killed them!" And like,
Can I take her?
yeah,
and
you
try
can like
and
just
hold her?
literally like
Just-
come around and pick her up. At this point, we're out of initiative because the main thing I wanted to keep the initiative for is if you saved Brett Brookstone's life.
Okay. Fine.
But yeah, you managed to like stabilize him. The miners begin backing off as the rest of the Harvest Guard and the town basically march on them and are like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Can I try and spare the dying the guard that was knocked down?
Sure, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, roll a d20 for me. Just because normally NPCs don't get to make death saving throws, but let's see if you get to him in time.
12.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You managed to save his life, prevent him from dying. Yeah, and Merrick is injured. Like a lot of the guards, they were heavily injured. They were like being pummeled by these miners, but they're all experienced fighters, whereas the miners aren't. So they were injured but not down. Yeah, and you manage to fend off this enough. The miners eventually break and they run out into the forest. The guards don't chase them really. Like maybe the guards send a couple to just keep track of their movements, but they're too worried about securing their injured and securing the town. And yeah, they get scattered off into the woods. Brookstone is dragged in, stabilized, thrown into a cell next to his daughter. And you save his life. Yeah, Aila, you just kind of pick up Valor, pull her away from Quill, and she's just gone weak. Like the knives, she just drops them both, and she just buries her face into like your chest, and she's just like, she's almost like pounding on your arms, just like in rage and frustration. And she just kind of keeps
really
muttering.
awkwardly, like
Yeah.
stroke her hair or something.
Yeah,
Try
she
and
just-
calm her down, but
she's just, like,
not
pummeling
really
your
sure.
arm.
Just letting her do it.
Yeah, and she's just like pummeling, and you can hear like mutterings and sobs of kind of like, just like, it's my fault, like he killed them and stuff like that. But you don't really get the full gist of it. And that ends the combat. So what's the next steps?
I mean, I feel like Quill is kind of like second guessing himself, but like, I think he is just sort of half, just constantly like apologizing to Valor, but not really at the same time in a way. Like he's sure of his own actions, but at the same time, he's upset with himself that he's upset Valor.
Yeah. So there's this kind of awkward way you're trying to apologize, but it's almost like she's not listening or she can't hear because she's just so angry, and eventually she kind of stopped hitting Aila. Like, you know, she wasn't like hitting, but like kind of just pummeling, like flailing her fists.
Yeah.
And eventually it calms down. The other Harvest Guards will heal because you took injuries and you took injuries still. So Windy Gale will come up and heal anybody who's injured. Yeah, if you're both injured. So you'll get 6 hit points back, Lucius. You get 8 hit points back. Quill, you get another 8.
Cool, bam, fully healed.
And they basically take Brett Brookstone in. Merrick kind of like slumps, sheathes his sword, gives like a little bit of like treat to his hawk, and then sends her off flying. He's just like, thank you. Thanks for helping deal with that. I'm not sure I could have taken Brett in a fight, so...
I'm not sure that's the end of it. Seems like it's the start of an arduous process.
We're gonna have to round down all of those that helped him. I mean, they won't... Some of them would have been roped up into it, they would have been caught up in the fever. Some of them, we'll make examples of a few, send a few of them off to prison, but some of them will probably just get a slap on the wrist, go back to what they were doing. His family, we'll go and see if they're still at his house, but obviously they've, as far as we know, they're not guilty of anything, so...
My concern is the children of Brett Brookstone have been raised in such a way that his death is going to cause some animosity in the town and potentially some vengeance.
You're right, Mr. Lenasto, but what can we do? They're not guilty of anything, they've not done anything wrong. We can't kick them out of the town because their father is
No,
an
I'm not
asshole.
suggesting we do, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yes.
But he's not dead, he's fine.
They're still gonna, they're
He's
gonna
not,
resent
he's
it.
hurt, but
Yeah.
Well, they also lost a member. I assume that's their own fault, sending them to the forest.
Yeah. Well, we have all the evidence we need to put Brett behind bars now. He'll go
Wow.
to Gold Throne into the dungeons.
Fila did also say that his wife, Gemma, also knew everything that was going on as well, so...
I mean, knowing about it isn't the same as being the one responsible.
No, I know, but just in case.
I'll interview them. We'll do what we can, but in terms of the eyes of the law, we've got the 2 people involved now. I mean, they'll face justice. I'll call down a proper guard from Gold Throne. They'll escort them to the dungeons, make sure it's all done properly, professionally. I mean, I don't have enough people to really, I'd have to try and escort in myself with a couple of Harvest Guards, and those miners might come back if they sense that we diminish our own numbers here, so I'd rather call for somebody from Gold Throne to take Brookstone up there. And no offense, but I'm not entrusting him to you guys.
That's fine. I don't think we did a very good job.
It might be
we
best
did a
if
great job at handling.
Yeah.
Once you were here, you don't want to know what happened in the woods.
I'll let you get some rest. I need to question Philo Brookstone once he's awake, so...
Can I ask, when you talk to him, can you find out who he was trying to sell Valor to?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be coming to you as soon as I know anything about that.
Thank you.
Of course. Keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna overlook the fact that obviously she's magically capable and is clearly a bit unstable. So just keep an eye on her. Keep her away from this jail cells. All right.
I can't imagine we'll be here for much longer.
No, if you want to I understand if you need to leave as soon as possible. I've already arranged for your friends' bodies to be taken up to the Temple of Siaska and Gold Throne, so I'll have that arranged for the same transport wagon as Brett. Torval's making sure their bodies are preserved, so.
On which note, guys, I need to go see the Daybringer, Torval.
Well, I
Right.
think we need to take Lucius up there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'll leave you to your business. I'll come find you once I get some answers out of Brett. Can you let Torval know that I'll need his assistance this evening?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
I wish we had more of you in this lowland area. Mr. Merrick, you've done a very honorable job today.
Thank you. It's
Still
not an
keep
easy
Brett.
one. Yeah, I'm sorry that you all had to face such tragedy in my town. Rose Hall isn't normally like this, but thank you for your help.
It's a good chance it could go back to better times without the corruption.
I hope so. I hope so.
Maybe without the financial support, but there's a charity
We'll be
now.
fine. We'll figure things out. Take care. And he will head off inside, leaving you to your business. So what does the people want to do?
I would like to go see Sunbringer Torval Blackhammer, please.
I'll hobble along.
You can take Lucius up there?
Yeah, I'll help you. Like,
Yeah, I imagine he probably would have come down with Windy Gale and the rest of them, but they've kind of formed like a little group and they've probably gone back to the inn, some of them for a hard drink. And you can find him there. He kind of looks up, kind of gives you all a knowing look, strokes his kind of grey and black beard. Well now, quite a bit of excitement going on in the town. Can't say I usually approve of fighting, especially outsiders and people of the town that I love, but I've heard about what Mr. Brookstone was involved with, and I'm deeply sorry. I hope that he meets the justice he deserves.
Us too. We didn't want to fight him. We tried.
I've been told. Now, what can I help you with?
Well, I asked you if you would teach me your spell.
You did. You left. I came to speak with you in the morning, but you had already gone chasing after the killer.
We had to get Valor back.
A mighty fine thing you did, too. I spoke with Palador, and he advised me that giving you that knowledge would be of a benefit to this world. So I'd be glad to teach you.
Thank you so much. And she's going to start crying again.
You're more than welcome. It's all right. It's all right.
It's been a really sucky couple of days.
I would ask
This
that you...
happens every time something happens now. Whether
For the
it's
last
good or
couple of
bad.
days.
Whether it's good or bad, this happens.
Well, it has been a sucky couple of days.
Yeah, but I mean,
Lucius is going to start welling up. Yes, it
really has.
absolutely has been devastating.
We've had a lot of things happen to
I
us.
think...
We'll get each other through this.
I'll fix you, Lucius.
Don't you two start crying!
We'll fix you too, Quill.
I'm afraid, Mr. Kalar, I'm afraid that I can't help with your eye. That's beyond my power.
Oh, no.
So what do you say, irreparable?
There is something. There's a messenger comes by a couple every, I think he's due in a few days, one of your own kind. He specializes in magic and trinkets. He normally has things, little eyes, little replacement hands, that sort of thing.
That sounds like Aarakocra eyes? He just carries them?
They're for medical purposes, people that lose their eyes or their hands or fingers. He has little replacements.
maybe you get a wing.
I guess.
You need to stop losing body parts.
Nothing that extreme.
Thank you. Okay, and see,
I mean, they're not. It will be similar to a glass eye, is what I mean.
I see. I haven't really been on speaking terms with the Aarakocra for a while. What with not having a wing.
I don't see why that should stop you from talking with your own kind.
Well, I don't want them to see me how I am, and I don't really want to see them purely out of jealousy.
The second part of that is understandable. But shame and pride are the same thing, the source of it. If you have shame at what's happened to you, that's a deeper problem. That shouldn't be down to your kind and seeing them. That's something you need to deal with yourself. What's happened to you is what happened. You can't change it. You just need to accept it. But I'm afraid I can't help. Miss Nova, come with me towards the temple. Bring your friend and we'll see about teaching you that ritual and getting your friend healed. Do you have the money for the incense and herbs?
Yes, sir.
All right, come with me then. And I'll take you up to the Temple of Palador. So, remind me how your tome, Pact of the Tome works. Because it's per level of the spell, right?
Choose you can add other ritual spells to your Book of Shadows. When you find such a spell, you can add it to the book if the spell's level is equal or less than half of your warlock level, rounded up, and if you can spare the time to transcribe the spell. For each level of the spell, the transcription process costs 2 hours and 50 gold.
Okay, so the problem is a third level spell, which means that your half your level rounded up would be 2.
Need to level up once.
Do we level up after?
I mean, you're not leveled up right now, so
Let's still get the ritual.
you can still get the ritual done. It's 400 gold.
Use it.
No, he can cast it on.
Yeah, but that's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
as long as I learn it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is gonna happen more.
Yeah, you can't learn it now. You need to wait until, even at level 4 you won't learn it because half your level will still be 2. You need to be level 5 before you can learn a third level spell.
Is this a cleric spell?
Yes, but it's a third level cleric spell. So eventually you will learn it. Or have access to it, I should say.
Okay. It's a third level cleric spell.
Cleric and druid.
Alright. I think I get it next level.
What spell?
It's my own one, it's heal minor injury.
Because he inflicts a lot of minor injuries on us.
I don't inflict anything. You
world.
fail saving throws.
Dice.
Exactly. You fail saving throws and then I roll on a chart. So, 400 gold, mark off please, from somewhere. Lucius, you are laid down in a little quiet antechamber, and around it there are figurines of a kind of golden human man on fire, but very, not in pain, just welcoming, offering its warmth and light to other people. There are paintings of Palador, this kind of this flaming being giving light and warmth and shelter to people of the lowlands. It's very calm and serene. Incense is lit. Healing herbs are placed over the leg, cooling to the skin.
Now, I don't know the medical practices of the lowlands, but do you offer sleepy juice?
There's no need for such matters here. You won't feel a thing.
I won't?
No.
Perfect.
Palador would not see you suffer more pain.
And with your implements, have they been sterilized?
There are no implements, Mr. Elenester.
It's all magic.
It's all magic. It's the divine light of Palador himself.
I can see why it costs 400 gold.
Lay down. And then he casts his hands, and over the next 10 minutes, he kind of recites a ritual prayer. There is, you kind of get lost in it. Time seems to distort and become, it feels like it's only been a few seconds or a few minutes, but the whole process takes about 10 minutes. And you feel the bone, you kind of feel your leg kind of tingle, and you can kind of see the bone kind of like snapping back, but there is no pain, there's no agony, there's just a kind of cool sensation. Maybe as it begins to heal, like the sensation of a warmth, like it's near a pleasant fire, as if your leg is like just quite comfortably close to a nice warm
I don't
source.
watch the leg. It's kind of like watching a flu jab.
Otherwise, just looking away. But yeah, you just feel this pleasant warmth sensation, and then the leg is healed. Boom.
Is there a scar?
No, I don't think there would be. Not from a broken leg.
Yeah, there wasn't for Earl.
No.
That was very surreal, but it's done a perfect job.
It's the power of the gods, my friend.
And the god, sorry?
Palador,
Palador.
one of Siaska's children, one of her sons.
Well, thank you, Palador, and thank you to you.
Thank you, it is my pleasure.
You clearly are very connected to them.
I am. Palador has always guided me. There was a time when I was offered a position up at the main church in Goldthrone, but that kind of life isn't for me. I'm needed in places like Rose Hall, places close to the local people.
Lots of broken legs.
more for their spiritual guidance, but being able to mend a broken leg or heal a fever does come in handy now and then. I know it doesn't help that Palador is also, he is a god that knows how to fight when is needed. A few times I've been called on to help the Harvest God against monsters and beasts, and nothing scares them off quite like divine fire.
Oh, I'm sure. But either way, thank you. My daddy's gonna take so much pocket money from me when I have to pay all these things back. That's at least 2 weeks worth.
I'm sure it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It seems that you are not capable of learning this ritual yet, Miss Nova.
My bad. I'm not ready.
But there will be a time, and if you wish, come back and I will teach you.
Thank you for thinking of me anyway.
It's Palador who I asked. I wasn't sure, so I asked him. And he told me that only good things would come of it. So,
That's what I try and do.
indeed.
Speaking of Palador,
Oh, hello, Mr. Quill.
am I here? I've always been here, haven't I?
I assumed you weren't, but
Keep
sure.
quiet.
I mean, you were talking to me about my eye earlier, remember?
Yes, that was before we went to the temple.
I see. I wanted to
do
see the
you?
process, so I came along
There
too.
you go.
I stealthed, I'll be honest. I'm very good at it.
Hello, Mr. Quill.
Hello, I'm here too. Have you ever questioned your faith with Palador?
Questioned. I believe that all people of faith, no matter which god they look to, there will always be times when they question it. I mean, that's the nature of faith, isn't it, Mr. Quill? You can't, if you always believe in something, you're never tested. Your faith is never doubted.
But
It's only through those times of doubt that we prove that we truly are faithful.
But in those times of doubt, did you feel your connection was stronger? Did you hear from Palador? Did you sense the presence? Anything?
Palador is always with us. Whenever the sun is high in the sky, I feel his presence, but I can't say I've ever spoken with him, apart from when I cast certain rituals or spells.
But have you ever felt disconnected from him?
I can't say I have.
Okay.
But different gods, different people, they all mean different things.
All right. It's just I know I have this connection with Hesper, and I felt the connection. I felt it when we were on the ship. I felt it at times in the Bitterwood. I haven't felt it since I left.
Well, my question to you, Mr. Quill, is have you prayed? Have you sought his counsel? Or have you simply been living your life?
Well, I
Like
don't.
anything, it needs to be two-way street. You must walk to him so he can walk to you.
But the trouble is, I don't know what he wants.
Do any of us? All I know is that I need to live my life by the decree that Palador, I think, believes in. Do you know Hesper's decrees? Do you know what he believes in?
I suppose I would be an Aarakocra, wouldn't I?
You could know. It's up to you. Again, you could have a vague idea, but you don't have to know exactly what they are.
Yeah, true. I know of him.
Okay. Then perhaps that might be a step for you to follow.
Okay.
Afraid there's a temple to Hesper in Goldthrone. You could ask there.
Is it run by Aarakocra?
I don't believe so. We occasionally have visitors by Aarakocra, but no, I believe it is a human or dwarves or some such.
Well, maybe that's the place for me to go then.
Maybe. Good day to y'all.
Thank you again.
Light of Palador will be with you.
Oh, it's in my leg now.
Yeah. Lucius is healed.
Yay!
Thank you, Nova, for taking me here
No worries.
and using the group fund. It's been a rough couple of days.
Don't start again. Jeez.
Sorry I couldn't learn the spell. It's tough.
Well, the next thing to fix is your eye, Birdie.
Well, that's from the sounds of it. It's not fixable, just replaceable.
Well, that's what they say here on the lowlands. But I don't want to say anything, but there's a lot of experimental surgery and quite a lot of knowledge up in the skies.
Can
Once
they...
we get to Goldthrone, I can send a word to my dad, and we'll get you right up there and fixed.
So do I stay with this? Do I get the replacement? What do I need to do?
I think you should stay like that. It's really intimidating to people who might attack us.
At least get an eye patch, Mr. Quill. It's a bit gross.
I know it's gross.
The scar is cool. The eye's kind of gross looking.
All right.
You should probably also get that eyeball removed, I imagine it's just going to get infected.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, it's up to you.
I'm gonna go get it. Where do I go?
I mean, Rosalina is a healer. She can probably do it. As in a surgeon or the priest up at the temple.
All right, I'll book an appointment right away.
Do you want me to hold your feathers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
Where are you going to go? The
Uh,
temple?
I suppose so,
Rosalia.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you go to the temple, he'll basically use healing magic to anesthetize the area or like numb the area. And then it's basically a case of like pulling the eyeball out and then healing it.
I'll hold your claw.
He gave me an eye patch, right?
Yeah, and then well, he wouldn't have eye patches, but you can easily go and get one from a general store or something like that.
How much would that cost?
Like nothing, like a silver piece. For like a good quality. Or actually, if you go to Days of the Smiths, she'd make you one for free because you help deal with Brookstone.
Okay, cool.
So Days are happily just like with a scrap piece of leather, put some studs, some straps in it, and makes you like a little eye patch. that
Custom
hooks
eye
around.
patch.
Nice. Cool. What color is it?
Just brown leather.
Okay, fair enough.
She's.
Can I have a purple one?
I could dye it for you if you really want.
That's fine.
I mean, I really can.
It's okay.
Purple's difficult, but
Oh no, that's fine. I can't see it anyway. So what's the point in colouring it for me?
that's right. Stop staring. And she like slaps her son, who's like,
Does it look cool?
looks
as
super cool.
Not as cool as when you could see all the.
I'm like feeling around. I guess the
Oh yeah,
scar.
it's still like jagged. Like the healing is kind of like scar tissued it, but it's still this jagged, horrid.
I'm just gonna slap your claw. Stop touching it.
I'm just.
He said to
concerned.
not touch it. You're
Okay,
gonna. It's gonna
fine.
get worse. Stop it.
All right, fine. But it looks cool, so that's good.
You look very cool.
Does having one arm look cool?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, me? Yes.
Okay, good.
You look like you've been through some shit.
It's mysterious.
I have. I have been through a lot of shit.
Moments. Yeah.
I didn't get my coat back from the Brookstones.
Do you really want to go and get it now?
No, not at all.
You are without your coat. You just have your
Still.
shirt.
Can I
I'm
go see
so
Valor?
sorry for your loss.
It reminds me.
Then he lost his eye. I lost my coat. Oh dear.
Terrible.
Yeah, Sentry's with her. So Sentry's just been keeping her at the tavern. He's been
Yeah.
keeping her at the Brazen Heart.
Okay, I'm going to speak to Sentry first then.
Okay.
How is she holding up?
As well as can be expected, Mr. Elanaster, or Lucius. She's upset. I believe that now she is more in shock. I took her to see the bodies so that she could say goodbye.
And have you seen any flickers?
Now and then, that same magic comes back when she gets cross. Or when she gets very, very upset.
What do you think we should do?
Well, we have to look after her. We have to protect her now. These people are after her.
I don't think she can stay here. It's going
No.
to be a constant reminder.
I believe so. We should move. We should move on. We should, Sentry says, we should find the people that are after her and stop them.
Yes, I suppose that's so.
We can't have them continuing to come after her.
We all know.
You can be if you want. It's
Where
just
is this?
in the Brazen Heart.
In the Brazen Heart,
tavern,
yeah.
I think we should get her to Gold Throne. There's a temple there that she was going to. They can protect her.
Well, we were going to send, or they were going to send the bodies up that way anyway. We can go with that. But I don't want to leave until we know.
Maybe.
Sorry?
Don't mean to throw a spanner in the works, but I went to talk to that elf, and he said that I might find some answers to something at an elven ruin, which is nearby.
What?
Ah, that is probably the one near the lake that we passed.
Yeah,
We walked past it.
It's creepy.
Is that the one
I
you...
would imagine so. He said something about spirits.
Oh, it was a ghosty. I
You
saw it. I saw one.
Lucius thinks he saw some elven woman in white
Does
walking
it not
around.
make sense now?
Kinda does, yeah. Well, we just don't go in there when it's nighttime.
When do they know what time it is? They're ghosts.
That's a very good point.
I suppose.
I might need to talk to them. I don't know. I
Well-
don't know how that kind of stuff works.
It's on the way. I mean,
Do we
I'm gonna come with y'all to Gold Throne, but then after that I'll be staying there, so.
Okay.
Maybe it's a good place for Valor to do some venting.
I mean, I don't
What, the
necessarily
Elven
think that's a
ruins?
good idea, but
But she should practice.
yeah.
I've been thinking, but she's not very stable, but she's clearly great.
She's got a lot of
We
magical
should-
power, that's for sure.
Should try and use it so that it doesn't just all explode at once. You know? Is that how it works? I don't really know.
It does sound like Yusuf and Karin, God's rest their souls, did not. They kind of kept her to keep it bottling up, and well, that doesn't sound particularly good to me. But
It all
what do I
comes
know?
out,
I don't know
yes.
anything about magic.
Yes, it's bad. When you tie magic to emotions, it's kind of like letting off a thunderous bullet without any sort of, restraint or
Talent.
talent.
You also remind me, Mr. Quill. You want to keep using that thing?
Honestly, no.
All right. Well, when we get to Gold Throne, I'll gladly buy it from you.
How much for?
I mean, we'll figure out how much it's worth.
Technically, it was mine.
Do you really
I
need
found
it?
it. No, but I kind of like the money and spend that on something cool.
Well, how about I pay you and Mr. Quill?
Oh,
How
but which
about-
point?
That sounds fine.
You owe me a gold.
Why?
You didn't pay for the room, and I had to pay for it. How much was the room? It wasn't that much, was it?
It was, but then at the same time, I suppose you've paid for your own room while they've been away, so yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Sam.
Whatever. Who's happy? I'll
anyway,
just throw her a gold.
Is there anything I could replace it with? I have no other weapons beyond the spells.
you definitely should learn to use something.
I have this staff.
You could use that.
I could just jab people with it, like.
Yeah, you hit them.
True.
You should maybe Mrs. Aila can give you a few lessons on how to hit stuff.
Sure.
Hit them with the pointy end.
If you're looking for a ranged weapon, maybe we can get you some I mean, I can. When we get to Gold Throne, there's probably somebody who could teach you. We can find somebody to teach you to fire guns and firearms like that. Thunder
They
weapon.
have that there?
Yeah, Gold Throne's a huge city. There'll be every kind of thing. There'll be mercenaries from all over Aerois, people of different skills, and there's magicians of a power that none of y'all have probably seen.
I mean, I feel like it could be very useful.
I mean, when we get to Gold Throne, I'll tell you what, there's some wonderful things to see. Y'all have to see one of the spell arena battles.
What?
Oh, they're exciting as hell. They were just getting started when I left, but they've been touring all around Aerois. They get these different wizards and sorcerers and warlocks and whatever, and then they have these big bouts in a big arena. And people come and cheer for their favorite wizard that they want to win, and they either have to destroy a magic shield or they have to knock them out of an arena. It's real exciting.
Do they get hurt?
Yeah, people get hurt. They have like a magic shield to protect them for the most part, but, well, it can't protect you from everything, so people get blown around, knocked all over the place.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And these magicians are all getting pretty famous now. Some of them are earning some big gold fighting in these duels. Yep.
And Aila, I heard they also have fairgrounds there where you have to hit a button as hard as you can with a big hammer. Huh?
I have one.
And that shoots something up to hit a bell.
That sounds dumb, but
There's bars,
if I can
there's
get money, then
food from all over Aerois. There's merchants there. You can buy and sell pretty much anything in Gold Throne. It's the merchant capital of the world, of Aerois.
I really want to go to Gold Throne. I wanted to go there when we started. I have stuff to do.
And once you're aboard a Gold Throne, I'll take you all up in an airship to Gusthaven.
I'm not going on an airship.
Well, I'm gonna have to get on one sometime, but yeah, I'll gladly take that offer.
As long as this one makes it.
But we have to. Can we just go through past those nice elven weird spirit things, please? Thanks, please.
we will
Nova,
probably
you might
ghosts.
actually find it quite interesting. I'm trying to spin this in a way that you'll actually want to do it.
Try me.
Historical information.
I'm listening.
Wait, didn't you say there were ghosts in there?
Just
I mean,
park
ghosts.
that for just a second.
Ghosts like that. I mean, they're not real.
I mean,
I've heard of undead, but not ghosts.
I've seen it.
I beg to differ. I mean, ghosts are just another word for a buildup of ethereal energy.
Those.
But then that's more like a magical monster, right? That's not a ghost of a person who died.
But I imagine if it's tied to the emotion of the person who died, then that actually could be powerful enough to take on a sentience.
Well,
Let's go, Aila. I'd like to study this.
you're convinced. Like, I want to hunt some ghosts.
I want to bust some ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah, I thought you might.
Nice.
You've not seen the
Well,
hair.
it's on the way. There's no harm. We're gonna have to camp around that area anyway.
I need to buy a bedroll.
I recommend that we all try and get some camping supplies.
Rations would be nice.
And a new coat.
Maybe some healing potions.
Yes.
Y'all mind if you use some of that money you got off that Goliath to buy me some stuff?
Sentry has it.
Sentry, can I? Yes, you can.
Okay, well, we'll leave immediately after we find out anything from Merrick, I suppose.
Oh yeah, about Valor.
So that night in the tavern, I'm assuming you spend a night there.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 gold again for the group.
I'll spend my own gold, so 3.
Arvel will use his share of the money from the Goliath to get his own room.
Yay!
Sentry probably will recommend Quill. Sentry's like, I think Valor, I should stay with Valor in my room. Perhaps you could share with Mr. Lucius or Mr. Quill or Mr. Arvel.
Are we sharing? Am I
You
owed?
want to
What
share?
do I owe?
I've taken a gold.
I mean, it's either I share with you or I share
There is
with
another
Valor.
double room.
I'm
There's
going
one
to
more
buy
double.
you another double room.
But you're going to keep a single room for yourself.
gonna keep a
So you have a double room for yourself.
Oh, well, thank
You
you.
treat yourself, Bertie. You deserve this.
Thank you.
Also, I cannot sleep.
You just
on-
really don't want to
So it's
sleep on
5
the same-
gold
It's
for
just
everyone.
all for you.
So 5 gold for everybody to have a room, basically.
Here's your laundry, by the way. You left it.
How is there laundry? What laundry would Aila have? She wears the only clothes she owns.
Oh, you just left these dirty rags and I washed them in the sink.
Why would you do that?
They really smelled.
I like the way they smell. Now they're weird.
Uh,
Okay, I appreciate that you were trying to help. Thank you. Thank you.
Merrick finds you in
I'll
the
get
evening.
used to it.
You're welcome.
He sits down with you, gets a drink from Rosalina. Well, it's been a long process. Thanks to Torval's magic, we managed to get most of the truth out of him. He hired the Goliath, as we knew, but he didn't tell the Goliath to kill anybody or hurt anybody. His orders were strictly to get the girl, take her to the North Gate, and then go with his children to Ironwick, where they have a contact there who was going to meet them. So we know that whilst the Goliath's actions did lead to deaths, Brett wasn't at least aware of that. In terms of the people who employed him, the only alias that we have, Brett dealt with somebody calling herself Lady Vale. And apparently, he has been providing her information for a while now, keeping a lookout for individuals of interest. Now, when you all came to the town, you told some of the gate guards that there was an airship crash.
Yes, I did.
This got back to Brett Brookstone, which he passed on to this Lady Vale, who was extremely interested. Told Brett that there would be a girl traveling with y'all, and he'd be paid 10,000 gold if he could capture her alive, take her to Ironwick.
She knows.
This Lady Vale was the one that put Brookstone in touch with the Goliath, a mercenary that she'd worked with before, a real killer. And Brett used most of his finances to hire that Goliath, hoping for the payout.
She's probably responsible for the crash then.
Or at least involved in it.
Maybe. And all I know, well, the only thing that was clear is that she wants that girl. She told Brett specifically, a young girl around 14, 15, dark hair, purple eyes, traveling with people that might say that they're from the airship crash. People claiming to be from an airship crash.
We need to hide her identity from now on. Go stealthy. If we enter a town like Goldstone, who knows what contacts she's got there?
We do know, Brett did know that she operates in Goldthrone, this Miss Lady Vale.
She's gonna have eyes everywhere.
But Ironwick seemed to be their next stopping point, and that's where they were told to take her. And if you're traveling to Goldthrone, you'll have to pass through Ironwick on the way. It's on the other side of the lake.
Well, at the very least, we don't talk about the airship crash anymore.
Yes.
Is there anything we can do to disguise Valor?
And us. We do stand out as a group.
I mean, if we're telling everyone about an airship crash, then we stand out, but
I think Brett
Gold Throne.
Brookstone and the workers and everything have probably given quite apt descriptions of us all.
I'm blue.
yeah, and I'm a bird with one arm.
I don't see anyone else around here who's blue, or a robot, or a bird.
With one arm.
We're quite the mix.
We are, yeah.
I could be anyone.
I mean, you're a wild elf that shoots lightning out of your eyes.
Keep in
They don't
mind,
see that all the
Brooks,
time.
Brookstone was already in touch with this person looking out for people of interest. Savona's a big land. It's a pretty big place. Somewhere like Goldthrone's a big city. I'm not promising that you're going to be able to stay undercover, and this is just my opinion, but just if you keep yourselves to yourselves, maybe you'll be okay. But if what I will say is I'm going to pass word up to my superiors. If you go to Ironwick, you find out anything about this Lady Vale, whoever they are, they must be involved in something pretty shady to be offering that kind of reward for Vala. And likely that they might be causing other problems. If you find out anything, take it to my superior. Her name's...
Lady Vale.
Dun dun dun.
Her name's Sandra Goldbarrow. She's kind of the head of the Harvest Guard up in Goldthrone. She's my superior. You tell her whatever you find out, she'll make sure you get paid for it.
Thank you.
Well, we can be on our toes anyway. I think we've learned a lot about trust in the last couple of days.
I recommend just keep an ear to the ground and eyes on the horizon.
Ouch.
Eye on the horizon.
Could you,
Aye,
or one of your...
Just I.
Oh, that does remind me. He puts down a pouch of coins. Turns out I also owe you this. It's 100 gold. Dealing with bandits on the North Road. Turns out Brookstone, this Goliath he hired, was the one responsible.
Wow.
Perfect.
Technically, you offered 200 before.
Yeah, I don't trust your notes, because you could write anything you
Oh,
want.
but I wouldn't do that. Come on.
What if, in a rare occasion, Mark, I made the note?
200 gold. Was that for both
Look
of
at his
them, or was
notes.
that
He only
each?
writes really important stuff really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both wrote it.
Oh.
But did you
God.
write it for both? Is my...
Objection!
That's the thing I'm
Wait,
worried.
Wait, yeah, no, 200 gold.
Does it say
200 gold.
200 each or
Trade
200?
wagons that didn't make it to time, 200 gold. Tunnels and lives on it,
Notes.
200 gold. 200 gold.
Or
Is that for
250
both?
All around.
Gale.
for
Indigo.
each.
Yeah.
Is that each?
We appreciate
All right, you
it,
get
Merrick,
200 gold.
But,
All right.
Let's be real
I'm
for
going
a
to check
second
it.
here.
I'm going to check it after this episode.
But
And if
three
I'm right,
people
and
have
it was
notes.
100 each, and
And
you've
we
written
are
it down wrong,
actively
I'm
arguing
never
with
going to
Merrick.
trust your notes ever again.
Three of us wrote.
Yeah.
Three people wrote.
You've written 200 gold in general.
No, I wrote.
No,
You've
I
written
wrote,
each.
I
No.
wrote that each thing was worth 200
Yeah.
gold.
Okay.
And
you've
that
gone
Windy
right.
Gale was
And
going to
then
give
you
us 250.
put- Okay. All right. 200 then.
Thank you.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
uh,
I'm going
would
to
you
add
do
that
me a favor?
group fund.
Yeah.
I can give you a platinum or something. Mr. Brookstone, when we went for dinner, I left my coat there, and it'd be really awkward if I went there now. Could you send someone?
You want me to send somebody to
Platinum?
Brett Brookstone's place to get... I mean, sure, you want to pay a platinum? Yeah, absolutely. I'll send somebody to do it. I'll put the platinum in that charity fund.
The coat's worth a lot to me.
All right. Holds out a hand.
Platinum.
What if they burned it?
Then I get the platinum back, right?
Then I will get you the platinum back.
And then I'll cry.
All right.
No,
well,
again.
I'll have to send somebody in a minute, but you'll have it before you head out of town.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll end today's episode.
Out of interest, Mark,
Yes.
is that the end of the chapter?
I think that
Yeah.
that is pretty much going to close off chapter
Every
2.
rose has its thorns.
Yeah.
What a thorn.
Holy crap,
Chapter-
holy.
Chapter 3 will probably be the road to Goldthrone.
Damn.
So that'll be your adventures on the way to the capital city.
Nice. Chapter 2 completo.
Yeah. Perfectly in
XP.
time before I finish. Yeah, I need to work out your XP. Because you didn't really... That encounter wasn't particularly challenging.
Could it be like...
580?
Yeah.
I mean, we only toppled
That
a
sounds
corrupt
about right.
organization.
You don't think you're going to get 580 each? No, and I'm going to play this legit. Like, I'm going to work out how much XP you get. I don't care how close you are to leveling. You get
killed the
XP
poor.
when you earn it.
What if We get XP for knowledge as well, and we've discovered deeper into
That is part of it, and there will be some XP rewards for that. Is it going to be
discovered
580
the Elven
each?
Ruin.
Probably not.
We also discovered the elf place. Remember, we walked close enough to get the
absolutely.
thing on the
Yep.
top of the screen.
Yep.
Ding.
Yep.
Ding!
No,
Damn!
you'll get XP as we work it out.
I did a
We've
side
got to
quest
read things
to get
out
my
quickly.
coat.
Yeah, I know we do. Yeah.
Right.
Coat side quest?
Shut up. TJ, can we have the donation
Does he
window?
get his coat back?
We'll find out.
I can bring it up here.
Yes.
Oh, why is my head up?
I don't know if TJ has got it yet, but yeah, you can just read them out quickly. Just do them quickly, Trop.
Okay.
In your classic Hat Films quick donation sub read. But yeah,
Okay.
take it away.
Gamers00700 donated 500 Twitch bits. Thank you very much. Crucibel donated 300. These are all Twitch bits. Loving the sexy rasp. Oh, this is not up till now. Okay. Clear up till now.
But now is like 8 o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah.
5 p.m. Sorry. There's
Okay.
a button for that.
Oh.
And then it probably.
Go, because you've got like 4 minutes.
I can go as fast as this website is loading. Which it's not. Here we go.
We'll try and read them.
Azul Aura, High Rollers makes the perfect backdrop for which to do my geography assignment. We'll be missing the second half of the stream as my family are watching the new Doctor Who together, so I'll be catching up on the mod later. Keep being awesome. Thank you. Ola Renve donated $10 with no message. Thank you very much. Severka donated. Hi there, catching you live again finally. Kim, I can't see those nice shiny Aerois dice if you put focus on some purple square person. Who am I kidding? The cat's out of the bag. Or, well, dead. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Dragster donated a $250. Thank you. Hello all and welcome back, Katie. Booked my ticket for Comic-Con and I can't wait to meet you all. Just as a surprise, I'll be cosplaying as Mark Humes, but 10 years older. See you there. Joss Rodriguez donated. One of two. In September 2017, I had the very original idea of streaming D&D online. I had the common sense that told me someone else has probably already done that. I searched D&D stream and found Uncharted Territory, and I've been hooked ever since.
Wow.
2 of 2. I don't normally get to watch on stream because I'm at the Choice of Siaskas on Sunday in Cali, but you guys are my OG D&D crew, and you've been majorly inspiring me to continue my goal of writing a campaign and eventually streaming it. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, friend.
Thank you.
Nautilix1 donated. Which to prioritise, Aerois campaign or New Doctor Who? It's close, but you win this one, High Rollers.
Hey!
Ben Ash donated $100.
Oh,
I've been watching since the start of Light 4, but back then I only watched the VODs and never got around to donating. Here's for all the great moments past. Thank you so much. Also great to have you back, Katie.
Thanks.
Yep. Donated.
Sure.
I'd like to thank you, Mark, for getting me into DMing. It's stressful, but everything is worth it when it plays out on the table for better or worse. My first session was last week, and we're doing LMOP.
Lost Minds of Fandel.
Fandelver. I was wondering how to price magic items. Thank you.
I just search for sane magic item prices, and it's on a website called Giant in the Playground, and I just use that.
Nice. Dance
Or
Gone Fire
D&D
donated.
Beyond?
Hello from the magical world of Disney.
Because the pricing isn't on D&D Beyond. It's weird.
Nightjar donated. Just want to say thank you, as always, for High Rollers. It's nice to have a bit of escapism every week when life and the world seem to be going a bit shit.
You're
Anywho,
welcome.
have a great time in Japan. Mark, and good to have you back, Katie. See you
Thank
at
you.
MCM.
Thank
nice.
you for the gift, Nightjar.
See you there. Tucker donated. Watch out for that Tom Hazel guy. He seems the sort who would try stealing loot from the party out of a dragon's treasure hoard. Welcome back, Katie. We all missed you. Hope you're feeling better.
Very
Meta
hard word.
Manu donated a $250. What did you do?
You got a minute. You got to keep going.
Welcome back, Katie. We miss you so much. Looking forward to the spoopy one-shots.
Just do thank yous. You might have to just do
Varys
thank
donated.
yous.
Thank you. Casual Gamer Guy donated. Hello, people. You all look very lovely. Divinity. Feels like my first taste of D&D-ish.
Thanks, Casual.
He's playing Divinity.
Yeah.
Another one. What did you like most about D&D? The roleplay.
All of it.
Everything.
All of it.
The
Next.
game.
Fun to more.
You got a minute.
Ospen1 donated $250. Killer Gankala, the $1 million Birdman. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Pixie MLG Gamer today. Good day, Rollers. Pixie here. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Can't watch live today. Super busy with family stuff, but I'll catch the VOD later. Love you all. Bye. Staff Dave 421 donated. Tom to RP as Pirate Bird next session.
Yes.
Stonehenge Ray donated. Daddy Best. The week Lucian said Daddy 5 times out of 29 people. Sunday Cider. Elenmi Meme. Bandlace Tyrant. Made of Magic and Wires. Martin 25218. And all guessed correctly.
Wow, that's a lot. of
Congrats.
people.
A lot of
Gamer
people.
Guys, the last one. Yay, Katie's back. The stream is not complete without my favourite elf barbarian. Hope you have a nice vacation. # roll on Sunday.
That's it.
Wait.
Done. We got
See ya.
no. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do this
Quiz
real quick.
Quiz answer is number 6. If you look in the links in the video description below, there is, so 6 is the blue face. There are links in the video description below to the full problem so you can figure it all out.
Bang.
We gotta do it. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.
See us at Comic-Con.
See us at Comic-Con. Thanks for our sponsors. Thanks, brilliant. You've been amazing. We'll see you soon. I'm going away to Japan. Bye.